Welcome, welcome. How are we all doing today? We got a fun one. We got a real fun one. I am looking forward to this one. Ugh. Patrick Theorist. Patrick Theorist. Hi. Welcome. Haha, you're hyped. This will be a fun one. This will be a fun one indeed. Such a spry new channel. Haha. Hi everyone. How are we all doing? The Pinterest link. Yeah, there's a Pinterest link. Yeah, they try to have like another premise. What does favorite mean in this context, LOL? I think you know what it means. I think you know what it means. It's my favorite cuz I'm going to be mean to them. Thinking about it, you look like the guy who made Obsession. I do. Do I? I don't know what he looks like. You're scared. Patrick Theorist. We did watch a Patrick Theorist. Which one do? Oh, how does Patrick survive with no money? Yeah, we've watched one. We watched it in my my SpongeBob Diary stream. How do we all? Am I good in the box? Yeah, I'm a good spot. How do we all like the new video? We see. Hold on. Oh, why is it over there? Get out of here. How do we all like the new video? Modern SpongeBob made the same episode twice in a row. They just made the same episode twice in a row. Isn't that nuts? New vid is fire. It's pretty good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. How does he survive with no money? Let's watch it again for a refresher. It was saying that he like mooches off of SpongeBob. That was the that was basically it. That was basically it. New video was a great unique talking point. Yeah, when I watched those two episodes, I was like, that's got to be the hook, you know? Sometimes SpongeBob, they just give me things to make as a hook that is just like, it just hands it to me on a silver platter. Like, it's very nice of the SpongeBob writers to make their show bad in a way that like I can cover it perfectly. Hey, Jackson Finelli, I have a question. You can just ask the question. You don't have to preface it by saying I have a question with a whole chat. And also gave some AI-generated visual evidence. Oh, yeah, they use AI images in theirs. I really hope modern episode quality get better. Yeah. It's a subject of material conditions. Basically, the executives are just not given any motivation to make the show better. We just do not live in a media environment that encourages a show like that to be good. There just is nothing that does it, and sometimes human beings just default to the path of least resistance, especially when material influences just drive them so much to doing so. It's why I'm so against AI, is that AI is something that is going to be that path of least resistance for most people. It's going to have disastrous consequences. Can you stop with your blue faces with your spamming? It was all right the first time. They're so low-key retro with the white backgrounds. I know, they're so out of touch, right? Will you ever make another video about Better Call Saul or even Breaking Bad? Probably at some point. Yeah, I'm probably going to be able to move past SpongeBob a lot. If you guys want a little bit of a BTS, a little behind the scenes before we get into it. Yeah, so like SpongeBob kind of made my channel. You know, I did really only SpongeBob from September when I started blowing up back in September up until now, and I've been a little branching out. Family Guy, Mario Galaxy movie, Animal Farm movie, although I tied that into SpongeBob, but this was mostly about Animal Farm. And then live action Avatar. I'm planning, actually, I think I haven't decided if I'm going to do it yet. I'm going to see. I think I'm going to do a Stuart Fails to Save the Universe Big Bang Theory spinoff video. I don't think it'll do very well, but I think it'll be a good, like, branch off. And I think even if it gets like a decent amount of like some new audience, some like old audience getting a refreshing non-SpongeBob video, I think that might be a good place to go. Guys, stop with this like bunch of blue faces. I'm gonna start banning people. Keep it up. Oh, you're a different person. But yeah, no one do it. Please stop. I saw someone say that Nickelodeon used AI on an IRL event. Yeah, they did something weird with that. But anyway, that's just something I've been thinking about. There's seriously another Big Bang Theory spinoff. Yeah, about the guy who owns the comic book store. It's like a science fiction show. I actually had some positive things to say about it. I watched the first episode last week, and there's a new one coming out today, and I gotta say I'm kind of looking forward to it, to be honest. I definitely have like things to say about it. Like there are things that I can be critical about, and like just in terms of its writing, or just in terms of like how shows like that are encouraged to be written. But to be honest, I would say I was decently impressed. I did enjoy it. I thought it was very interesting. Big Bang Theory is a mixed bag. Yeah. I'm watching all the Big Bang Theory right now. One of the directions I want to take this channel, and someone just asked if I would cover Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul again, which maybe, but the main direction that I'm taking the channel in is going from cartoons to possibly sitcoms. I don't know. Covering dramas, so there's kind of two reasons I don't cover like dramas like Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul, or Game of Thrones was another one. Like Game of Thrones just kind of came and went this year. I mean, there was the new House of the Dragon season. I didn't even watch it. I didn't even watch any Game of Thrones content this year. I was a huge Game of Thrones fan. Read all the books. Like I'm like a huge Game of Thrones guy. And you'd barely even know it, like, from my content, because like I don't really talk about it very much. And like there is a lot of potential for Game of Thrones content. I mean, you could definitely rip on it. Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, I pretty much have only good things to say about, which is a little bit harder. Like I can analyze stuff that's good. I can talk about why things that are good and are well written. Like that is a thing, but it is a lot harder to cover stuff that's good. I like to cover stuff either that's like really bad, or stuff that is like could have been good, like that was like good, all right, but like had some missed potential. Those are like, I think that might be where I'm gonna land with the like Stuart one. What's something that was like that? Oh, I guess most of the stuff I've reviewed lately is just straight up bad. I can't even find a thing. What's something that I reviewed that I thought was like just okay? This was good. This was something I thought was good. Bang Geeks. Huh, I guess I don't really have any videos like that. That are things that were just kind of mid. It could be better. But anyway, that's the direction I'm kind of looking at. I find that sitcoms have aged badly. Yeah, they have, but I think that sitcoms could come back if we take out a lot of the things that made them age badly. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing I'm building towards, is a really deep analysis on like sitcoms as a whole. I think I'm going to start with Drake and Josh. I'm planning a big Drake and Josh video, kind of like Quentin Reviews, where like Quentin Reviews does those like super long videos on like iCarly and stuff. I think I'm going to do mine on Drake and Josh, but I know that he wants to do one on Drake and Josh. So I sent him an email to like just kind of let him know that it was something I was planning. I'm pretty sure I'm going to move forward with it, but if he had something to say where he was like, I don't think you should do it, I asked for his perspective on the matter. Basically, I sent him an email, but I'm sure he's a busy guy. He's a much bigger YouTuber than I am, so you know. But yeah, are we getting? What's going on? Something happening with the chat? Why does it keep saying chat disconnected? Why does it keep saying that? That's really annoying. And it screws it up on the screen. I just realized. Hold on, we're having a problem. What the heck? We're having an issue with the chat on screen. The last thing that someone said was and do with a bunch of D's. Title probably. Oh no, that's not good. I just noticed that. Oh, and it's not going. Why is that happening? Hold on, we're having a problem. We're having a technical difficulty. I don't know how to fix this. I don't know why this is happening. What's going on here? You can see, yeah, but the chat's frozen. The chat's frozen. It's not getting, it's not actually getting what it is. I don't know why it's doing that. Yes, but then I don't know how to get it back. Oh, this is a problem. This is bad. Wait, this is like a huge problem. Hold on. No. Oh no. I don't know how to get the chat back on screen. I don't remember what I did that got it there in the first place. I set this up so long ago. I had to do something with like Streamlabs. This was like a whole thing. This is a problem. Internal error occurred? Yeah. Wait, this is bad. I might have to cut out and come back. Cause this is like super not working. Yeah, I think I gotta cut off. I gotta address this. It says unable to connect to chat. That's not good. That's pretty bad. All right, I will have to come back. Yeah, I gotta come back. Let me just see if I can fix it real quick. Maybe I can fix it real quick and it won't get too messed up. Let me see. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. Okay, I'm in my Streamlabs widgets. Seeing some widgets. Okay, how do I get my chat box? How do I get it back? Click the copy widget URL. I don't remember how I did this. Add source. Media, no. I did this somehow before. Oh, I see stream. Okay, here we go. All right, I found something. What? I gotta log in again? This is a disaster. Please bear with me. I can't believe that happened. I have not had a technical difficulty like this. And I wouldn't have been able to see it before. Okay, all right, we found something. Widgets. There's our widgets. Chat box add. Widget added. Okay. All right, let's try chatting things. Oh, things coming in. All right, we're coming in. All right, we're coming back. Found it. Figured it out. Chat box is very big, though. Why is it so big? I don't remember what my size was before. All right, we're going to have a slightly different size chat box. All right, we're back. We're back. We made it. We made it. We are so back. Hey, I didn't have to end the stream. Okay, that was nice. How many viewers did we lose from that? Oh, wow, look at that dip. We lost a couple of viewers. All right. Yeah, it's okay. Wait, it didn't freeze again, right? Nope, we're going. All right. We are in good shape. I got to check periodically if that keeps freezing. Okay, we got our viewers back, too. Fake fans? I guess they weren't fake fans because they came back. They probably just left for like a few seconds. Watched a couple TikToks in between while I was getting everything set up. You know what? I get it. That's a good reason to watch TikToks. I'd probably watch TikToks in the same situation. Oh wait, I guess you wouldn't have to click off the stream to watch to watch TikToks, huh? I guess that's something. Okay. There we go. I thought you hated AI. Yes, the title is sarcastic. The title's sarcastic. All right. Okay. All right. You think I should make South Park videos? You know, like... Yeah, South Park's odd to me. I don't have... Because I do like South Park. I definitely have, like, some certain, like, mixed, you know, from, like, a political standpoint. Like, I think that... I mean, clearly, like, the most recent seasons have been pretty politically on my side. You know, when I say, like, politically, like, I mean stuff like, you know, like... I mean, I guess they apologized for Man Bear Pig, but they've been weird about trans people, South Park, for a while. I don't know how much they've really atoned for that. And I think that they kind of had a contribution to a lot of perceptions of like, you know, exaggerated portrayals of like, you know, like the PC principal stuff, you know. I just think it's like some of it's funny, like plenty funny and some good commentary, but I think it sometimes Family Guy does this too a lot, where they portray like people being like overly sensitive or like overly PC in like a way that like doesn't actually exist, but people who watch it like think that that exists, and then they go around in the world thinking that everyone is like out to get them because like they're like not woke enough, and it's like it's a whole thing. Again, like you can hear I'm not really elegantly explaining it because it's like a whole thing. So like if I covered South Park, I would like kind of inevitably need to address that, and it's like a whole thing. I've been like getting a little bit more political lately. You know, like sometimes I'm you know, like but it's difficult. It's difficult to be political. You have to be really precise. I'm gonna do a stream a little later. We're gonna revisit Alex Griffin later, and that one might be a little political. So I'm dabbling a little bit. So South Park videos could come. I'll see what I think when they do the next season. I'll see if I want to do South Park stuff from their old stuff, but it hasn't really been a big subject that's ever really crossed my mind. I would say the current trajectory that I am on is to do beyond SpongeBob. I think Family Guy's a great like other one. And I want to kind of cover a bit more contemporary films, like films that are like coming out, like movies as they're coming out, especially like animated movies. Toy Story 5 I was going to do a video on, and I really only had good things to say about like the whole Toy Story franchise. So like Amazing Digital Circus was like that too. I know a lot of people had criticisms of Amazing Digital Circus. I just didn't really have any. So when I was making a video, I was just talking about all the stuff that it did well. I might still do a Digital Circus video. I'm totally late on it. Like, it's totally going to suffer views-wise, but I know people really want to see me talk about it. But I pretty much would just do a video that's like 40 minutes of me talking about all the things I liked in the Amazing Digital Circus, which just... It'll be great. Like, it'll be great for the fans, you know, but it's not going to have that kind of oomph of something like modern SpongeBob made the same episode twice in a row. Like, this stuff is just my bread and butter. But I think beyond that, like, I definitely want to cover a lot of sitcom stuff. I think as we get into the holidays, I think I might want to do like a Halloween and a Christmas video that I think is about like movies and stuff. Definitely a Christmas video. I'm thinking of doing ranking every Ebenezer Scrooge in films. I think that's going to be fun, especially because there's a new one coming out, the Johnny Depp one. And Halloween, I'm not really sure, but I might want to do something similar with like a ranking something movie Halloween, something like that. Not even the Kane coming back thing. No, I know. I thought when I first saw that they brought back Kane when I was watching the finale, I thought I was going to have criticisms on it. I don't know. They sold me on it. Like, it worked with the arc, like it just worked with the story. Is that like it was seeing the guy with like the all powerfulness, the guy who thought he was God, like appreciating the humans for their free will and stuff. And like, they only really could have done that if they had the death and the comeback, and it's like it worked for me. It just worked for me. I know Digital Circus has flaws. I'm not saying that it was a flawless show. It just did not. It just really did. I just really didn't. Generally, I only like to criticize something while I was watching it, criticisms formed for me. I don't like to watch something, not really form my own criticisms, and then see other people's criticisms that I could agree with. Like, I've seen people be like, oh, Digital Circus, like, could have had more episodes. And I'm like, yeah, I agree with that it could have had more episodes. Other characters could have had more development, all this sort of stuff. There could have been more from the non-Pomni Jax characters, like, for sure. Like, I totally see that. But someone else said that. It's not what I thought as I was watching it. So there's just kind of a difference there. Like, when you get, and I think that's a part of why people like me, is that it does come off like that when all of my videos are specifically the things that, like, when I watch the episode or when I watch the movie, like live action Moana, like, these are the things that came into my head as I was watching it. It's not me repeating things that I heard from other people or from Reddit. So you're getting something that is so fresh. And that's how I can kind of compete, at least decently, when I do a video like a live action Moana video, that so many other channels are like, live action Moana sucks. And I'm sure other channels that are bigger than me got way more views, but this was a solid, like, this was a nice paycheck for me. This We Deserve live action Moana. It was worth the time it took to make it, like, for sure. It didn't do as well as my SpongeBob stuff, but and I think this video was able to meaningfully compete because it does stuff that you only get from me. People will watch this video and they'll stay hooked on it. There are people who will watch multiple live action Moana videos, and they'll watch the first one and then they'll watch like maybe two more, and then like the third one they watch, they'll like click off because they'll be like, oh, I already heard these opinions. So I feel like if my video is the third live action Moana video that someone watches, they're gonna keep watching because they're getting something more fresh. And that's not because I look at the common opinions and just like shun them. It's that everything I cover, I really get my specific opinions. Anyway, that's some behind the scenes stuff. I got to get into the actual content. I'm just yapping a bunch of stuff that's not going to go into Jackson Finale podcast. So I kind of need to start talking only in ways that I can profit off of, huh? You loved the yapping regardless. Well, thank you. Yeah, I noticed that the live stream viewers really do stay consistently. I remember I thought it was really touching that when I was doing my recent Sponge Truth stream, there was a time in the middle of that stream, and you wouldn't even know it if you watched it on Jackson Finale podcast, because like I cut it all out because I didn't need it. It wasn't good content. But I remember I was like really struggling in the middle of that stream to like figure something out. I was trying to figure out if the compilations of Sponge Truths were in fact compilations, and I kept searching different videos of theirs. And I was even thinking like, I'm probably going to lose viewers from all this stuff. And like, you were all sticking around. So we got a pretty solid core here. So thank you for being a part of it, everyone. Thank you for being a part of it. All right. Okay. I need to actually start. one last question. How's your day, Jackson? My day is great. How was all of your days? Okay, so teacher, are we getting quizzes on this? Yes. Yes, you are. Okay, so all right, Patrick Theorist, 158 subscribers. I'm going to be honest, this one is kind of just for fun. I've been so serious lately, the downfall of Sponge Truths, all of my stuff, I've been really working the old noggin on all of my different discussions, lately. And I looked at Patrick Theorist when I covered SpongeBob Diaries, another failing AI SpongeBob channel. We looked a little bit at Patrick Theorist. Someone in the chat recommended them to me. And I think I just need to have a little fun, bashing a channel that just does not know what they're doing. That's just what I feel like doing today. And it's totally mean. And it's totally punching down. Well, it's not punching down because they use AI. So you can do whatever you want if they use AI. You could be mean to people if they use AI. If it was a regular channel that was as out of touch as Patrick Theorist is, I would feel bad bashing them. But just the fact that they use AI just gives me kind of a free pass to just make fun of them. And that's basically what we're going to do with Patrick Theorist. So funny thing about Patrick Theorist, I actually was able to find an email for Patrick Theorist. I was able to find a contact. So I did reach out to them. I want to say about a week ago. So I've given them a lot of time to respond. They didn't. And I reached out to them and I said, basically, should I get exactly what I said? I think that would be interesting. Let's see exactly what I said. I'm not going to show you my email because that's personal. But I'll show you the text. Sent to Patrick Theorist. Yeah, I'm just going to... Hold on. We'll just make a little... Oh. Come on. What's going on here? Oh, there we go. Okay. So look, here's my... I actually sent... I just copied the email into the document here. So I sent to Patrick Theorist. I said, "Hello, Patrick Theorist. My name is Jackson Finelli, and I'm a YouTuber who specializes in analyzing other YouTube channels. Your channel was recommended by a chatter for me to cover in one of my previous live streams. Would you be interested in sharing some of your behind-the-scenes process? My audience is especially interested in the use of generative AI in content creation. I would even be open to interviewing you live on stream so you can set the stage for how your videos are made before I cover them myself. Full disclosure, my channel takes an anti-generative AI position and opposes its use in content creation, but I, as a creator, am interested in hearing opposing perspectives. So if you would like to either shine a light on the parts of your content that do not use AI or defend your usage of AI in your content, I would be happy to share your feelings on that subject." And I sent them a link and all that. So I reached out to Patrick Theorist. And the reason I reached out to Patrick Theorist is just because I did think about Cartoon Corey and how I went over Cartoon Corey's video, or how I went over Cartoon Corey's channel when Cartoon Corey's channel did have a contact. And while I think that the Cartoon Corey story had a pretty happy ending, I went over his channel and him and I had an interview and we were able to share with the audience that he doesn't use AI and that he's actually a pretty chill dude. It's pretty nice. But even so, I think I did learn from that experience that if they have a contact, depending on the channel, sometimes it's better to try to reach out to them first. And that's what I did with Patrick Theorist, and I didn't hear back. So now I can just... Patrick Theorist did not want to defend themselves, so what else can I do? You know, I can go over it now. Just know, Patrick Theorist, you know, if you're out there, if you're watching this somehow, Patrick Theorist, if you're watching this, like, the door is still open. You can come and defend yourself if there's anything that I was incorrect about with your AI usage, or, you know, you think I was unfair to your channel in any way. You know, you can always I'm always here to talk. But yeah, Patrick Theorist did not get back to me. So why talk about Patrick Theorist even beyond that? It's going to be funny. It is going to be funny. We're going to have fun. But there is a little bit of a, you know, deeper reason to talk about Patrick Theorist, and it's because Patrick Theorist is interesting. Their first video was 1 month ago. Well, I think it shows when they've joined. Joined June 14th, 2026. June 14th. So about a month and a half. Patrick Theorist has existed for a month and a half. So have you ever seen the first episode of The Sopranos, where Tony Soprano is all like, yeah, I got into this business at the end. You know, you ever feel like you're getting in at the end? I think that's kind of Patrick Theorist, where like there was a time where AI channels, AI SpongeBob channels, like there really was a time, a window where you could have really struck it. And you could have made a decent amount of money off of the grift. Like, it actually is a thing. It almost feels a little bit like, you know, like if you did like buy Bitcoin in 2012 or something like that. Not to say that any of those things are good. I think it's terrible to make AI videos, and I think Bitcoin is stupid. But like, it is one of those things where it's like there was a window of time where... Oh, you know what I think is a better comparison? It's like thinking if it were 2012 and you could have bought a bunch of Pokemon cards that would have been like $20 back then, that now you could like sell for thousands, you know, like something like that. Like I bought a couple of Pokemon cards in 2012 because I was really into Pokemon, and like some of my like Pokemon cards I bought back when I was a kid then are like pretty expensive now. They like went up in value, but like I didn't know back then that it was going to blow up into this thing with, you know, the like Jake Paul, you know, whatever nonsense, Pokemon investor, all this awful stuff that ruined the hobby. But like there was a window of time. Like you think about it like, oh man, if I was just like during that time in like 2012, just buying up I could just buy up a bunch of Pokemon stuff and then you would just have it. Like I almost think of that with like late 2024 to like basically all of 2025, 2024 to 2025, making AI SpongeBob channels was really profitable. There was not a lot of people were aware enough of AI. They weren't really able to spot it, to the point where they just got away with it. SpongeTruth just got away with it. You'll notice all of SpongeTruth's million view videos 10 months ago, 1 year ago, 10 months ago, 1 year ago, 9 months ago, 3 months ago. This is like their most popular videos were 3 months ago that are like kind of in these top ones. But other than that, and these are outliers, they really were a while ago, a year ago. You know, they are, let's look at No Villains Are Safe. Like, No Villains Are Safe is doing a little better than SpongeTruths. They're probably of all the AI channels, they are still kicking the most. Mostly because I think they're the best at hiding that they're AI. But, you know, like, they haven't been doing that well lately. Like, they took a month off. There's a whole thing. They do a lot better than, like, numbers. Like, they had a million view video 2 months ago. That's pretty crazy. That No Villains Are Safe was able to get a 1 million+ view video so recently. But, like, let's look at their most ones. You know, 4.3 million 11 months ago, 1 year ago, 1 year ago, 1 year ago, 1 year ago. Like, look at how all of the 9 months ago, 1 year ago, 10 months ago, 11 months ago. See how, like, all of the really successful ones have a bit of a time frame. Yeah, and then 2 months ago. Like, these are, like, that means that 1 year ago or 9 months ago, they were getting million view videos every so often. Whereas this one's like an outlier that this one even got that high. Here's another one. 3 months ago, 1.2 million. So No Villains Are Safe does do a bit better. They do definitely do a bit better. They're a little scarier. I think that as the AI channels start to die, I think No Villains Are Safe is going to be a problem for a little bit after. Like, I think after, you know, with Sponge Truths. By the way, one of my most recent things is Sponge Truths giving up. And when I covered where is Sponge Truths, are they giving up, the thing that they had recently posted was these 3-hour compilations, and they had 3 of them. There's a 4th. That's the next thing they posted. More 3 hours. They're just repeating their old content, repackaging it. As I learned from Ava's new video, actually, SpongeBob Universe is doing the same thing. I didn't even realize it. SpongeBob Universe had like a huge hiatus 6 months ago, and that's even to fall asleep to. But this is their last real video. Who is actually dumber, SpongeBob versus Patrick. But 2 months ago, they came back, and I remember SpongeBob Universe. I saw that they came back. I was like, oh no, SpongeBob Universe is back. But they were just repackaging their old content, and they just made 4 videos repackaging their old content, and then they disappeared again. And they did not get that many views from it. Like, they really didn't. They actually did worse than Sponge Truths. Sponge Truths repackaging their content did a little better for that. 100K views on there. That's terrible. But like, that's a last ditch, you know? Like, that doesn't mean that Sponge Truths is successful now. They're going to come back. If Sponge Truths comes back with a real video, I don't think they're going to hit these numbers. I really don't. I think that they're in a lot of trouble. And I think that these compilations are just them using what they have and just squeezing the last out of it before they finally just quit. I think that that's what's going on here. I'm not ready to pop the champagne yet with Sponge Truths. Don't worry. When I call it, I set a day. I set a day, like the last day of August. If on like the last day of August, so a month from now as of this stream, if Sponge Truths does not post a real video by the last day of August, I'm popping the champagne. And we're doing the celebration stream. We're doing the Sponge Truths funeral stream. Okay. All right. Let's hope. All right. Let's hope for it, you know? It's the AI is just recharging its batteries. I hope not. But yeah. But anyway, so with that being said, I think it's kind of funny for an AI channel to pop up now, to pop up in the past month. Because another thing that we'll notice about these AI channels is they all came about at the same time. Even the ones that are like gone now. Like, let's see, one of the big, this was one of the big early adopters. One of the big early AI channels was Mustard Pregnancy. They were big on the white background theories. What are they, oldest? 3 years ago. 2 years ago. We got 2 years. SpongeBob Mayonnaise Theory 2 years ago. This was their first real video on Mustard Pregnancy. What actual date? What was actually the date? November 3rd, 2023. November 3rd, 2023. ChatGPT existed in 2023, right? Do I seem dumb not knowing that? I'm pretty sure it would have been.
Help.
As you'd expect, we see instruments of all shapes and sizes. Yet, amidst this cacophony of sounds and sight,
Pretty sure that's a real voice. Maybe they weren't AI at first. Maybe they were just more content millie. But Mustard Pregnancy was definitely AI. SpongeBob.
Mrs. Puff, introduced as SpongeBob.
Oh, notice it's like a different voice from their very first one. Yeah, and this would have been closer to when they could have used an AI voice. So we'll just... Anyway, Mustard Pregnancy was a very early adopter. They quit 11 months ago. What's Inside Patrick's Secret Box? Gone. Finished. But like all of these like AI channels, they started to pop up in around that same time, 2024, 2025. Some channels did transition. Like, I don't know if Mustard Pregnancy was always AI, because I don't know if when this SpongeBob Mayonnaise Theory, well, Joe Rogan interviews SpongeBob, this is definitely AI voices, because that's the whole bit here. It's very cringe. It's basically just like an AI Joe Rogan voice and an AI SpongeBob voice, as if SpongeBob was on Joe Rogan. That gives you an idea of who Mustard Pregnancy was, I guess, because they're gone. But yeah, anyway. So there were AI voices. I'm pretty sure there was ChatGPT. I hate to Google it. I feel like I should know this. When was ChatGPT released? Oh, yeah. Thank you, AI Overview. It's probably accurate. Okay, here it is. ChatGPT was publicly released on November 30th, 2022. Okay, so I think it's pretty safe to assume that Mustard Pregnancy was always AI. But as we learned from Cartoon Corey, there were channels that were content farms that started to use AI as they got into it. Watch Mojo is another one that we're very sure as when I watched this. Like, Watch Mojo is, over 10 years old. Like, Watch Mojo's 20 years old. 2006. Watch Mojo is 20 years old. They didn't always use AI, but their recent stuff, like, we saw the tells when I covered Watch Mojo. Watch Mojo totally uses AI too. They adopt it after a while. But anyway, basically my point is that the AI channels all kind of came around at a certain time. So a channel that's more recent, like even SpongeBob Diaries. When was SpongeBob Diaries? SpongeBob Diaries was 8 months ago. So I could buy that SpongeBob Diaries is also like a cynical tech bro like Sponge Truths, who just doesn't really know what they're doing as much. They aren't. By the way, I think SpongeBob Diaries gave up too. I'm pretty sure this is the last SpongeBob Diaries video. 2 weeks ago, they usually post more frequently than that. I'm pretty sure they gave up. I doubt we'll see another video from them. I'd be shocked if we saw another SpongeBob Diaries clip. If we saw another SpongeBob Diaries video, I think they're done. So yeah, Sponge Truths. So yeah, I think Sponge Truths is a tech bro. I think it's reasonable to assume that SpongeBob Diaries is also a tech bro, but they are a lot less smart. There's also a lot of stuff with like SpongeBob Diaries has to like pay an editor, so it does seem like there's some kind of capital that they invested into this channel that they did not get a return on investment. The channel didn't even get monetized. So they just paid an editor to make them like 6, 9, 12, 15, 20. They just paid an editor to make them almost 30 videos, and they did not get their return on investment. So there is some tech bro out there that just kind of burned through their money. But Patrick Theorist, I think there is a chance that Patrick Theorist is just like a normal person who like just used AI and like thought that AI was going to help them make videos. Like, I really want to try and figure out as we're doing this, I want to try and question who Patrick Theorist might actually be. Because, and another thing that's weird about Patrick Theorist is why only Patrick? Like, a lot of these AI channels, they really try to just be like anything. Like, they want to cast a wide net. No villains are safe with all the different shows and all the, Sponge Truths with just all their different, stuff of what's the creepiest episode of SpongeBob, and then they do theories, and then they did fan fiction. Sponge Truths they were all over the place. SpongeBob Diaries kind of has their shtick of like, they compare SpongeBob to like real world events, but like, it's still a variety. You see different characters in there. Like, there's an AI Mr. Krabs. There's, I think that's an AI Mrs. Puff. What is that? But Patrick Theorist, like, that's very odd. Like, I think that would be notable even if that wasn't an AI channel. Like, why would there be a channel that's only about theories about only Patrick? That's very strange. Like, that's a really strange niche. And it almost makes me think that it's authentic, that like there's a person behind this channel who actually is a fan of Patrick and maybe thinks that, like, because here's the thing about AI. Like, let's talk about people who use AI who like AI. Like, because I think Sponge Truths is just cynical. I don't think Sponge Truths likes the show. I don't think Sponge Truths feels anything making these videos. I think that these are just a means to an end. It's just, it's basically like they were investing in cryptocurrency. AI SpongeBob channels, that makes money. I'm going to invest money in that, and I'm going to get money out of it. And that's why they did it. I think SpongeBob Diaries is the same. And SpongeBob Diaries just thought that their whole thing about doing it with social issues was going to pump them up, and they were incorrect. But like, Patrick Theorist might be kind of a different thing here, and I'm going to try to assign a character of who is the person behind Patrick Theorist, and maybe if they ever get back to me, I'll be able to see how correct I was. But I think perhaps the person behind Patrick Theorist might be someone who just kind of believes that AI is like their own work. Like, I think that they just think, ooh, I like Patrick, I like SpongeBob, I want to make theories about Patrick. They have no writing talent. They ask ChatGPT to write them theories, and then they feel like they wrote it. People like this exist. This is a kind of person. There are people who believe that when they prompt something, it's the same as if they made it, as if they wrote it, as if they drew it. People are that delusional. That might be Patrick Theorist. It might be Patrick Theorist. It could be. So why don't we watch some of Patrick Theorist and see. What were the ones I put in the thumbnail? It's more greedy. I want to do Patrick knew the Wumbo belt first. Patrick knew how the Wumbo belt worked first. That's my that's what I want to that's the one I want to watch. Cuz honestly, if this were not an AI channel, not a bad idea for a video. Patrick knew how the Wumbo belt worked. The Patrick Wumbo belt theory. I could see it. I could so see it. Maybe even just a mini theory. I mean, it's only an 8-minute video. Look how, also this being 7:57, that's actually a huge tell that the person behind this is not some like tech bro person who's really experienced. Does SpongeBob Diary have any that are under? Does SpongeBob Diaries have any videos that are under 8 minutes? I'll tell you why that's significant in a moment. Let me see. Any under 8 minutes, even one. Okay, there's not any on SpongeBob Diaries. So it's significant that this video is under 8 minutes because videos that are under 8 minutes make less money, because when a video is over 8 minutes, they can have what are called mid-roll ads. Mid-roll ads being just ads that play in the middle of a video. Ads still play on any video, but if it's under 8 minutes, I think they only play before the video starts. So generally, if you're a YouTuber, you want to make sure that your videos are over 8 minutes if you're monetized, but even before you're monetized, you want your videos to be over 8 minutes, because when you get monetized, people could watch your videos from before you were monetized, and then you make less money on them if they don't have mid-roll ads. This was never really a problem for me. My videos were always pretty much over 8 minutes, pretty much over 10 minutes. I probably have a few that are under 8 minutes before I really knew that, probably on the gaming channel too, when I first really started. But this really does betray to me that Patrick Theorist is just a guy who like wanted to make videos and just used AI because they feel like they accomplished something. Because that's a real problem with AI making people feel that's a real problem with AI that I want to discuss with Patrick Theorist and just in general, is that AI will make people feel like they did something when they didn't do anything. We talked about this in the recent stream, the Justin's Deep Dives drama, where I said that one of the problems possibly with his mindset as a YouTuber, and I only speculated on this. In fact, I told him, I was very encouraging to him. It was a small YouTuber. It was a whole thing. You could watch it if you want. But basically, one of the things that I asked this small YouTuber was, do you just feel like you are taking ownership of SpongeBob by covering it? You know, like if you're someone who just recaps SpongeBob episodes, sometimes people can make that and they will feel accomplished by just recapping the SpongeBob episode because they feel like they're taking ownership of it. I think that's what Patrick Theorist might be doing, is that they're having AI write them videos and they feel like they're accomplishing something by making them. So with that in mind, let's get into some Patrick Theorist. Let's watch some.
In the season.
Let's watch some. A bit loud. Quality 720p. That's another one too. That's another tell that they're an amateur. Like, if you were some big tech bro, you would have done your homework on, like, at least having your videos be 1080p. I mean, what is Sponge Truths? Like, let's see a Sponge Truths.
Bob's house is worth.
Look, Sponge Truths goes up to HD. You know, Sponge Truths goes up to HD. What about SpongeBob Diaries?
There's a moment in
SpongeBob Diaries goes up to HD. Like, that really does indicate an innocence. It indicates that this is just someone who possibly just doesn't know what they're doing and just is... Like, this indicates that this is just a normal person who just doesn't know what they're doing and just thinks that AI is an okay way to write videos. There are people who are that delusional. Like, I mean, you've seen my AI Wars streams. There's people who are that delusional. They exist.
Season 3 episode Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 4. SpongeBob has accidentally shrunk a
Okay. Where are we at, Sponge Truths? Oh, before we get into thank you for the accidental hydration reminder. No problem. No problem. Before we get into the Patrick Theorist video, I want to do something fun. So Sponge Truths has the SpongeBob
Something's
What If.
wrong in Bikini.
This SpongeBob What If playlist. Let me pull it up. So there's this SpongeBob What If playlist. There's 21 videos in the SpongeBob What If playlist. I've seen 3 of them. They're all in the Sponge Truth's Worst Thumbnails. The Sponge Truth's Worst Thumbnails video. So I want to do a little super chat goal. And if we reach it, I will watch on stream, probably between multiple streams, probably not in one sitting, but I will watch and edit into a full video every SpongeBob What If that I haven't already seen. All 18 of them. And we're going to do a marathon of every Sponge Truth's What If. But I want to only do it if we reach a super chat goal. So why don't I set that if I can. All right, we're going to set a 2-hour timer. And our goal is going to be 20 super chats at $5 and higher. So you can participate even for as much as $5. All right. I will watch every Sponge Truths What If, or every Sponge Truths What If that I haven't covered. All right, let's see if we can reach it. I've never done this before, so if it don't work, it don't work. It's okay if we don't make it. But I want to see if this incentive will get us going. All right, I started the goal. So let's see. What if there are no more what ifs? And don't feel bad if you can't contribute. It's okay. I'm just doing it as a little fun thing, as a little incentive, you know. But I don't want anyone to feel, if you feel like you can't financially contribute, I don't want you to do so and feel bad. For sure. I always appreciate anyone for just being here. Jackson Finelli x Sponge Truths collab when? I know, right? I would do it. I would so do it. Like, just for the memes at this point. All right, let's get into it.
In the Season 3 episode Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 4, SpongeBob has accidentally shrunk a large portion of Bikini Bottom's residence using Mermaid Man's utility belt.
All right, well, I mean, I guess I got to give Patrick Theory credit for just getting right into it, you know? I mean, at least it's not going on and on, you know, sometimes a human YouTuber, and I think you know what I'm talking about if you follow the channel. Sometimes a human YouTuber, they'll start off and they'll go, "Ooh, thank you for watching." You know, like, here's I had such a great day. How are you all doing? You know, just all this blah 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 at the beginning. You know, at least Patrick Theorist, at least they get right into it. Hey, thank you for the first super chat. Getting it started. All right, we're gonna reach the goal. We got 19 more super chats. Only $5 to participate in making me watch every Sponge Truth's What If. Every Sponge Truth's What If. Come on, guys. Don't you want to torture me for your benefit? Make me watch every Sponge Truth's What If? It is going to be miserable, just so you know. Like, I have fun with a lot of these, but watching every Sponge Truth's What If? Come on. Think of it like I'm one of those guys at the carnival and you're going to dunk me in the water. All right? That's what it is. I mean, I'm in on it, so I'm in on it. But, yeah. Hey, thank you for Pollock the Chameleon for the $5. $5. Looks like we might make it. Hey, there we are. Number 2, you're actually number 3. So even better. Thinking about trying to make some SpongeBob videos. I'm thinking of doing it using Google Slides and Google Vids. Not sure how it'll go, but whatevs. Google Slides and Google Vids? I'm confused. You mean not on YouTube, or are you going to make it using Google Slides and Google Vids? There's some free editing software out there. You could try DaVinci Resolve. I use Adobe Premiere, but I was a photographer, so I have all the subscriptions and all that crazy stuff. So like, you know, I have like, so I understand not using Adobe. Also, Adobe is evil. Is another problem, is that Adobe is the worst. So that's another thing. But try DaVinci Resolve. DaVinci Resolve is great. Or not great. I've never used it. I actually don't know if it's good, but it's been recommended. But yeah, you should watch my most recent video on Jackson Finelli podcast. The one about the Justin's Deep Dives drama. Watch that video. I give a lot of great advice for up and coming YouTubers. You should watch that video. It's like a great crash course. And if you do watch it, I hope you take all of my advice, because it's advice for everyone, and I love to help people. Oh wow, we're all right. We are on our way. We already got 6 out of 20. All right, it looks like I'm gonna have to watch every Sponge Truth's What If. Looks like it's gonna have to happen. All right, it looks like that's gonna be the next stream. I never make super chats with the Carnival analogy sold me. Well, thank you. Hey, we got another one from Strange. What is your name? Oh, just Strange Gunky. Hey, thank you, Anko8160. You should watch a show called Dan Versus. It's funny. Yeah, I could look into it. I have a pretty big backlog of stuff to watch. I knew counting wasn't my strong suit. Sheridan Hilton. Oh, thank you. Thank you. For the $5. All right. More. Oh, we're so gonna make it. Thank you, guys. Thank you all. Appreciate it so much. Hey, we got another one. I also wanted to know what you'd think of Yokai Watch. Also, I'm developing a show where anomalies try hiding and living normal lives. Any tips? I don't know what you mean by anomalies. Like anomalies represented as real people? Is that what you mean? I mean, it sounds really interesting. I don't know exactly what that would look like, but it sounds like you got a pretty cool idea. Yeah, when it comes to tips, like writing tips, I mean, you should just watch my videos. I have so much writing tips in my videos. What I would say, what is my like go-to writing advice? I have like go-to writing advice. I'm trying to think. Oh, here's my best writing advice if you're just getting started. Remember that everything in a story, everything that you're writing should be important. You are showing the most important parts of your characters' lives to the audience. That's what you should always think of when you're writing. That's some of the best writing advice I ever got was that. So think about that when you're writing your show. Hey, thank you for the $50. Watch all the what ifs. Also, what tips would you give to make a good theory? What tips would I give to make a good theory? That's a good question. I guess we'll have to another one for Change Cook. Thank you so much. What tips would I give to make a good theory? I think the best way to make a good theory, especially a SpongeBob theory, is to understand that a theory is all about taking stuff seriously that shouldn't be taken seriously and owning that. You know, like when I did my Twinkle Twinkle Patrick Star theory, I knew that all of the stuff that I was using as evidence was just like me taking cartoon logic too seriously. And that's okay in a theory. That's the fun part of the theory. You know, like I make fun of No Villains Are Safe when they like are like, this is the kind of menace Peter Griffin has become. Like I make fun of them for that, but that's because they're not owning it. They're doing it cynically. When you're doing a theory, you're creating art. You're creating a story based off of another story, which is transformative. That's transformative content. That is how we improve as artists. That's why I like theories. I felt bad that I made it seem like I didn't like theories when I ripped on SpongeTruth's theories. That's why I did a whole stream where I talked about how much I liked Alex Bale. So yeah, like that's kind of the main thing is like be aware that it's like you're just taking cartoon logic too seriously, and then from there it'll all kind of work out for you. Would be the way. We're already at 13 out of 20. 13 out of 20. Wow. I should do this more often. Hey, remember me? Thank you. Yeah, I do remember you. All right, wonderful. That's not how I pronounce my name. Oh, I'm so sorry. What is it? How do I pronounce it? I'll try to see it. You don't have to send another super chat. Is it Anko or anchovy? It's not how you pronounce my name. I'm a stickler for pronouncing names right. I'm the one who always wants to pronounce Ava right. You know, I'm a stickler for pronouncing things right. Also, can you add a funny SpongeBob dancing gif to the top left? Wait, is that a joke about Cartoon Corey? Or are you serious? I feel like that would be distracting. If you are serious, I feel like it would be distracting. If that's a reference to Cartoon Corey, that's a good deep cut. Security system takes control of Squidward's house and starts attacking the city. Great super chat. Wonderful. Prepare to watch all of it. I guess this is happening. It looks like this is happening. Well, the anomalies are supposed to represent people that don't fit in with expected norms. The anomalies are also monsters among the anthro animals. Sounds like a great idea to me. Yeah, that's cool. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, go for it. I encourage you. Yeah, watch my if you get writing advice from my videos, that's like I want people to get writing advice from my videos. All right. That distracted me a lot from Patrick Theorist, but wow, thank you so much with Jackson, perhaps you could review My Little Pony and Equestria Girls movies. I never really watched My Little Pony, unfortunately. It's a bit easier for me to review stuff when I watched like a lot of it. It's why I don't cover Simpsons, because I didn't really watch Simpsons. I grew up watching SpongeBob and Family Guy, so I can really hit it out of the park with a lot of things like that. And as I get into covering like sitcoms, there's going to be some gaps. There's going to be some sitcoms that I can cover better than others when I start to do that. Okay. All right, Patrick Theorist.
He is trying to figure out how to reverse the damage. He studies the belt. He sees the M dial. He concludes, correctly, that M stands for Minnie. He does not know
Wait, hold on.
residence using Mermaid Man's utility belt. He is trying to figure out how to reverse the damage. He studies the belt. He sees the M dial.
Okay, wait, hold on. Let's hear this recap again.
4. SpongeBob has accidentally shrunk a large portion of Bikini Bottom's residence.
Okay, SpongeBob has actually shrunk a large portion of Bikini Bottom's residence. Okay, they're using very wrong footage here. I don't know why they would use this. For some reason, 16:9 footage of a 4:3 episode. That's very weird. That's weird that they're doing that. They shouldn't do that. That means that they got the footage from the official SpongeBob YouTube channel that crops all of their 4:3 episodes into 16:9. That also might explain why he doesn't have the correct footage, because they wouldn't post the full episode. They would just post clips.
Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 4. SpongeBob has accidentally shrunk a large portion of Bikini Bottom.
SpongeBob actually shrunk a large portion of Bikini Bottom. So I don't know why it's using footage from the beginning of the episode when, if you're saying SpongeBob shrunk a large portion of Bikini Bottom's population, there's footage from this episode where that happened.
Bottom's residents using mermaid.
Also, that happens way at the end. That's, you do not, well, I get, okay, if it's a theory about how Patrick knew how the Wumble Belt work, I guess it doesn't matter. You could start at the end of the episode because it doesn't actually matter to, yeah, that wouldn't actually matter. So that is actually kind of fine. Bro has immaculate knowledge of SpongeBob episode ratios. Well, I know that all of the classic episodes were squares. You know why I like really know that? It's because I make videos myself. So the aspect ratio is important because I fit the aspect ratio into boxes. I have a rectangle and I have a square that I actually fit the footage into for my editing. Hey, thank you, Strange Gunk. We're almost there. 15 out of 20. We got 5 more. We are 3/4 of the way there. I mean, we got like an hour and 45 minutes left, so I'm sure we're going to make it. In case anyone didn't see it before, we do currently have a super chat goal for me to watch every Sponge Truth's What If, besides the 3 that I already covered. So we are almost there. We almost reached it.
Man's utility belt. He is trying to figure out.
So yeah, I guess it's fine to start at the end if you're doing a theory. You don't have to actually cover the episode from the beginning chronologically. In fact, with my Twinkle Twinkle Patrick Star theory that I recently did, let's shout out the Twinkle Twinkle Patrick Star theory. I did my own Patrick theory, actually. And I would love to see Patrick Theorist's take on it. I have given my blessing to Patrick Theorist that he is allowed to steal the Twinkle Twinkle Patrick Star theory. I give my blessing. I literally give my blessing. You can take it. You can do it. Only to Patrick Theory, though. Sponge Truths, you can't have it. I'm only giving my permission to Patrick Theorist to use my intellectual property of the Twinkle Twinkle Patrick Star theory in their videos. Only Patrick Theorist, okay, Sponge Truths? Not you. You can't have it. Make your own theories. But anyway, in my Twinkle Twinkle Patrick Star theory, I did kind of start at the end. Like, I started by talking about how the fish rioted at the sound of Patrick's song. So that actually is kind of fine to structure it like that. Hey, there we go. 4 more. 3 more now. Sheridan Hilton. Hi, me again. What's your streaming schedule? May as well ask a useful question with this. It's kind of all over the place. I aim to stream. Sometimes I stream on Sundays. Sometimes I stream on Saturdays. I'm sorry to say I'm kind of all over the place. I really don't have a consistent streaming schedule. I don't even really have a consistent posting schedule. Like, my videos used to, like, really post on, like, Saturdays. That used to be, like, a big thing. But now sometimes I post on Sunday. I posted one of my main videos on Wednesday. It's doing great. Like, when I was a smaller YouTuber, I used to think, like, oh, I need to post at the same time every week or I won't get views. And now, like, I don't really think about that stuff anymore. It's like this is just a random surprise stream. We got over 200 people here. You know, we got over 200 viewers right now. Like, I didn't plan this stream. I didn't advertise this stream. It's not the usual time that I stream, and we're doing great right here, and I'm reaching a super chat goal. So I don't really have a schedule, but you can turn on notifications and it will tell you when I'm streaming. And I don't know if you can turn on notifications for this. You probably can, but I also sometimes post. And I sometimes post when I'm doing my streams. We did it. Oh, we did it, guys. We made it to the goal. Time to cap it off. Jackson Finelli, you are now forced to watch 18 Sponge Truths videos. Let's go. All right. Wow. Wow, that's wonderful. We'll probably hit a few today. I'm gonna have to do it over a couple of streams. We did it, but it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. We're gonna watch every Sponge Truths. What if? What is it? What if? Almost called them Let's Plays. Every Sponge Truths What If. Wow, we reached that goal fast. All right. That is nice. That was great. Thank you, everyone. Really, thank you. Thank you all so much. Appreciate that. Victory Screech! What a great stream. Okay. What was I talking about? Was I responding to something? Oh yeah, I was talking about how I don't really have a stream schedule. Yeah, you can look for my posts. Sometimes for big streams, I like post and advertise. Maybe I'll do that for the one that my community just earned. When I do the Sponge Truths What If stream, maybe I'll advertise it. Do you always stream at like 4 o'clock? I generally stream between like 3 and 6 Eastern Standard Time. If I am streaming, that's usually when I'm streaming. Just so you know, to give you a little bit of a window. But yeah, I'm all over the place. I don't have to be all over the place. I could be on a better schedule. This is my full-time job. But I am all over the place. I just kind of am. You know, I think it's endearing, you know, like sometimes I'm here, sometimes I'm not, you know, you gotta just look out, you know. Nobody else give him a penny until he suffers. No, I'm going to suffer for you guys. You can still give me a penny. I'll take it. I'll take a penny. I'm Mr. Krabs. I think someone once did super chat me a penny. It was kind of funny. I probably won't acknowledge you, though, if you super chat me only a penny. I'm probably not going to point it out because then everyone would just super chat me a penny and expect me to look. So I'm not going to encourage it, but, you know, I wouldn't be mad.
Out how to reverse the damage. He studies the belt. He sees the M dial. He concludes, correctly, that M stands for...
He studies the belt. He sees the M... Oh, wait, is he referring to Patrick?
In the Season 3 episode, Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 4, SpongeBob is accidentally shrunk
SpongeBob is accidentally shrunk
a large portion of Bikini Bottom's residence using Mermaid Man's utility belt. He is trying to figure out how to reverse the damage. He studies the belt. He sees the M dial.
No, he studies the belt. He sees the M dial, meaning SpongeBob studies the belt and sees the M dial. Why is it that Patrick does that? Patrick says it's M for Minnie. Aren't you Patrick theorist? Shouldn't you know what your favorite character did in this episode? Shouldn't you know that?
He concludes, correctly, that M stands for Minnie. He does not know what the W...
He does not conclude correctly that M does not stand for Minnie. Oh, wait, no, it does. It does. Wait, Patrick is right. So, okay. Wow. Okay, you're getting so much wrong, Patrick theorist. Okay. He concludes correctly that M stands for Minnie. So Patrick does, not SpongeBob. And no one can follow this correctly because you're not using the right footage. I can follow it because I know the show. But you got to be considerate of people who might not know the show as well to give them the proper context and the proper footage. That's why you put footage in a video. That's why you explain what's going on. That's why you recap within reason. You don't want to recap too much. So he concludes correctly that M stands for Minnie. So Patrick says this. He goes, it stands for M for Minnie when it should be set to W for Wumbo. That's the line. And it sets up the joke of W for Wumbo. So the joke is that the belt says M because it's Mermaid Man's belt. So Mermaid Man is the one who... So it's M for Mermaid Man. So thinking that when Patrick thinks that it's Minnie, you think that Patrick's being dumb. But then at the end of the episode, when Mermaid Man says, did you set it to Wumbo? It actually means that Patrick was correct the whole time. So that is the joke. So the AI says he concludes correctly that M stands for Minnie, I think because Mermaid Man vindicates Patrick at the end of the episode. But in that moment, you're not supposed to think that Patrick is right. Or, you know what? I'm giving it too much credit. I don't think it's doing that because of that line from Mermaid Man. I think it's just saying it concludes correctly because Patrick says you have it set for M for Minnie. and the AI is just assuming that Patrick is right because it's a joke and it can't understand the sarcasm. Or not sarcasm, it can't understand that it's a joke and that Patrick's supposed to be incorrect. These are just the kind of weird things you get when robots write videos.
Position does. He says so out loud. Patrick says the M stands for Wumbo. SpongeBob
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! I think that's the most. I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna lose it. Oh my goodness! Wait, I could not just control that laughter. That was crazy. That was so crazy. Oh man. How embarrassing was that laughter just now? I'm gonna need to cut a lot of that out in Jackson Philly podcast because that was probably a lot. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Oh. We get why this is my new favorite AI channel. It's so weird because I know these channels are evil and I'm glad to see them go. And like, it's so good that like, even without like AI being made illegal, which I hope AI does get made illegal, or generative AI gets made illegal. I'd been told I need to clarify that more. When generative AI, becomes illegal, like that'll be great. But I do love that we as people, we as basically the YouTube audience, have just rejected AI to the point where they're not really making these channels where like AI channels just fail. But man, I'm going to miss having such a goofy enemy. I really am, Like when all the AI channels go away and I am covering, and I'm covering like CinemaSins, and like, I don't know, probably like conservatives having bad media takes, that's probably going to be what I'll transition to as as AI goes away and stuff, as I get into that, like, I'm going to miss this. I am. It's good that it's going away. But man, what a fun enemy. What a fun enemy to have.
does not know what the W position does. He says so out loud. Patrick says the M stands for Wumbo. SpongeBob says Wumbo is not a word. And Patrick
The M stands for Wumbo.
says, I Wumbo, you Wumbo, he, she, we Wumbo. Wumboing. Wumboologist, the study.
The line is Wumbology, the study of Wumbo. Why would it change it to Wumbologist? How would it even change that? What's even the point? Wumbology. It came up with Wumbologist. It extrapolated from Patrick saying Wumbology that a Wumbologist would exist. Because a Wumbologist would exist under Patrick's framework. Because, if there's Wumbology, there would be Wumbologists. But the AI actually extrapolated that. You know what? I don't think I give these things enough credit. You know what? You've sold me. I'm pro AI now, actually. Let's build some data centers, guys. I mean, if it's that smart, like I think I'm going to be out of a job soon. I like to think the AI thinks Wumbology is a real field and assumed that was true. Yeah, Wumbologist. Yeah, it's not that much of a stretch. It's also, it just speaks to how dumb AI is that it would change Wumbology to Wumbologist. Or maybe that part of the script was like edited by the person. You know what else might be possible?
Stands for Wumbo. SpongeBob says Wumbo is not a word.
I don't know. I don't feel like it does seem like because it's the M stands for Wumbo. I feel like if the person edited this, they would have caught that it was M instead. Maybe not. Maybe they edited the script and they didn't see that it said M stands for Wumbo, so they didn't edit that out. That is possible. This is just a recap, isn't it? I hope not. Maybe. I mean, the theory is Patrick knew how the Wumbo belt worked. Wait, it's not even the Wumbo belt. It's the Mermaid Man belt. I guess you could call it the Wumbo belt. I guess it would make sense.
Word. And Patrick says, I Wumbo, you Wumbo, he, she, we Wumbo, Wumboing. Wumboologist, the study of Wumbo. It is first.
I think he says more bits between Wumboing and Wumbology. He says like 5 things, right? He says a bunch of I don't know the exact quote. I know that it's Wumbology and not Wumbologist. That I do know.
Grade SpongeBob. By the end of the episode,
wait.
Wumboologist, the study of Wumbo. It is first grade SpongeBob.
It is first grade SpongeBob. People who think that AI is going to replace the SpongeBob voice actors when they retire. It is first grade SpongeBob. It's first grade SpongeBob. Dude, like if you actually think like an AI could deliver the like Wumbo speech from Patrick and with the same results, you have to be so delusional. I can't believe people even like entertain that notion that when cartoon voice actors retire, AI could like just do it. And like that, like not even that they would try, that like a business would be cynical enough to try, but just that like it literally would not be accepted. It would just like it would just be unacceptable to the mass audience. Like it's no way.
At the end of the episode, Mermaid Man arrives, assesses the situation in seconds, and turns the M dial to W. Everyone returns to their original size.
Wait, no, they don't. That is not the conclusion of this episode. Wait, it's just making up a worse plot to the Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 4? 4. It's 4, right? Is it 4? It's so 4. It's so 4. Yes, unless they're wrong. No, it's 4, because 1 is the original, 2 is Conch Signal, 3 is Man Ray, and 4 is Belt, and 5 is Every Villain is Lemons. Those are the 5 classic SpongeBob, Mermaid Man, and Barnacle Boy episodes. I know what they all are. So it's just rewriting Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 4 in a worse way. That is such a less funny imagine if that was the ending of that episode, was Mermaid Man just said, yeah, just press this button, and SpongeBob turned everyone back to normal. Like, the conclusion of the episode is that SpongeBob has to turn the whole city small and himself small, because the lesson is that if you screw something up because you mess with stuff that shouldn't be messed with, you're going to screw things up irreversibly. That's the lesson of the episode. If Mermaid Man just put everything back to normal, then that lesson would make no sense. Like, it literally, what's brilliant about this episode actually is that it uses the whole thing where like an episode will end and like it will be like, you know, like I guess one of the I guess like, you know, like Shanghai ends and they're still on the ship. Like Shanghai ends and they die, you know, but it's a cartoon, so they just come back in the next episode, everything gets reversed. It almost uses that to its advantage, is that because it ends with all of them being small and then Plankton comes back and he's giant, and then the next episode everything is reset, it's able to tell that story where it's like, yeah, SpongeBob just irreversibly screwed everything up. He did not fix it. Because sometimes when you screw stuff up, you can't fix it. So don't be like SpongeBob and don't screw up in the first place. And Patrick Theorist see how like if you actually get like, see how AI would think that that's the plot of the episode because AI can't understand why the other plot is the better plot, why the real plot is the better plot. It just can't understand these things. And if it can't understand these things, how could you trust it to write a script for you?
To their original size. M was mini. W was the opposite. Wumbo was the answer. The fan consensus on this moment is affectionate and consistent. Patrick got
the fan consensus on this moment that didn't happen.
lucky. He guessed at random, happened to name the right function, invented a word around it, and stumbled into the correct answer by pure...
Oh, okay, I see it. I see what it means. So it's saying that he stumbled... So it actually is saying something coherent. So it's saying that...
The fan consensus on this moment is affectionate and consistent. Patrick...
Okay, I don't know why it's saying it's affectionate and consistent. That's a very weird phrase to use. Basically, it's saying that the fan consensus, or not the fan consensus is not really correct, but it's like, how I would word this is the joke of Mermaid Man saying, the joke of Mermaid Man saying, did you set it to Wumbo? The payoff is that Patrick said Wumbo earlier, and he just said a random word. And then later on, Mermaid Man says, did you set it to Wumbo? Meaning that Patrick was right. I don't think the consensus would... No, wait, no, it's so wrong. The consensus is not that Patrick guessed a random word.
Got lucky. He guessed at random. Happened to name...
Patrick got lucky. He guessed at random. That's not the read of the scene at all. The scene is very clear because Patrick went on and on about what Wumbo is. Patrick goes, it's Wumbo. Wumboing, Wumbology, he says like he knows what Wumbo is. The joke is that Patrick wasn't wrong. Wumbo is a thing, and Patrick knew what it was, and SpongeBob underestimated him because he was stupid. Like, it just was a thing that Patrick knew about and SpongeBob didn't. I think that's pretty clearly the joke. Not that he made up a word and the word happened to really exist. I mean, you could read it either way. Like, the joke still works either way if he picked a random word and that was the right one. But I think it makes more sense that it's, like, it could be either or. But I don't think that the clear read of the episode is he guessed at random. I think the joke is that the dumb guy was right.
The right function, invented a word around it, and stumbled into the correct answer by pure...
Well, he didn't invent the word because the word existed. In their universe, Wumbo does exist because Mermaid Man mentions it. So Patrick didn't invent the word.
Pure accident. 25 years of clips, memes, and highlight reels have filed this under classic Patrick stupidity. Accidentally right. But watch the
Random footage from Rockabye Bivalve?
Speech again, and ask one question that nobody seems to ask. How do you accidentally conjugate a verb? I Wumbo, you Wumbo. He, she, we Wumbo. Wumboing. Wumboologist.
Wumboologist.
That is not a guess. That is a conjugation table. Subject-verb agreement across first...
Oh, wait, it's making the same argument I did. Which is, he said all this extra stuff. Wait a second, you just brought up a thing. So you said that the fan consensus is that Patrick made up the word, but then you're saying, here's the evidence for why he didn't make up the word. But no one makes the first claim that you said. So it's refuting a thing that it's refuting people who don't exist.
Second and third person, a present participle, a derived academic title using the suffix that signals professional math.
What is using the suffix that signals professional master? Holy AI on those descriptions. Wow.
Mastery. Patrick did not say a random word. He built a complete grammatical structure around a concept he claims to have just invented, and he built it in...
He didn't claim to just invent it. He claimed that Wumbo always existed. He says you quoted him saying it is first grade, SpongeBob. You quoted it. Patrick says it's first grade, implying that it's a thing that he learned in first grade.
Immediately, without hesitation, in the correct sequence. On paper, that reads as Patrick producing random noise. In practice, no one accidentally produces subject-verb agreement across 3 grammatical persons, then a gerund form, then an academic specialization. Random noise does not come pre-organized by grammatical case.
What are you talking? No one's arguing that it was random noise. And yes, you could totally do that. If you make up a word on the spot, you would say, look, flibbity, I flibbity, we flibbity, he, she, they, flibbity, flibbitying, flibbidologist. It's first grade, Patrick Theorist. Like, I just did it. You could do it with a made-up word. That doesn't prove anything. The fact that Patrick says all that stuff does work if he just made up the word. That's why the joke is funny before you know that Wumbo is actually a thing. But the joke still works if Wumbo is actually a thing.
Patrick's speech was linguistically structured because the thing it described was structurally real, and he already knew it. Here is the architecture of what he actually did. The W on the belt is a visually inverted M. Patrick is holding the same belt SpongeBob is holding. SpongeBob sees M and concludes Minnie. Patrick sees it.
SpongeBob does not think it's Minnie. SpongeBob knows it's Mermaid Man's belt. So SpongeBob thinks the M is Mermaid Man. Patrick is dumb, so he forgets that it's Mermaid Man's belt, or he doesn't put together that the M is supposed to be Mermaid Man, so he sees M and he goes, M is Minnie, so it's W is Wumbo. So SpongeBob does not say that M is Minnie.
M sees W and immediately reads the relationship between them. One letter is the other flipped. Whatever the M function does, the W function undoes. SpongeBob arrived at Minnie through letter recognition. Patrick arrived at the reverse function through pattern logic. He read the geometric relationship between the two characters on the dial before SpongeBob had finished.
Bro, it just said the same thing like 5 times. W is M upside down. That's what it just said in like 20 sentences.
Explaining the problem. That is not luck. That is reading the object correctly.
It's not this, it's this. Oh, I should have done bingo, huh? Should I have done bingo? Should we do a bingo? No, because Ava didn't do. I think I should let Ava do it. I feel like if Ava wants to do. You know what? Ava commented on one of my videos recently, so we might be in touch. I think I just would want to ask him. I don't know if I should do. Should I do Patrick Theorist bingo? I don't know. It's Ava's thing. I know, right? People have been requesting. I don't want to do it. On the off chance, because you know what? Ava showed a Patrick Theorist screenshot in his most recent video. I feel like Ava's gonna do Patrick Theorist bingo soon. Yeah, I don't want to take it from him. Do Patrick Theorist bingo? No. Ava will do it. If Ava doesn't want to do it, I'll ask him. I'll ask him if we talk. I'm not saying we're definitely going to talk. He knows who I am. Like, he commented on one of my videos recently. So, like, we could talk at some point, because I want to interview him and I want to collab with him. But, ball's in his court for that. But if we talk, I'll ask him if I can do it, because I want him to get first dibs on that, especially because now I'm talking about Patrick Theorist. So now, like, there's like 260 people here, and then people are going to watch my video on Patrick Theorist, so they're all going to be aware of Patrick Theorist. So I feel like if Ava does Patrick Theorist bingo, I think he'd do really well with it. I want to raise him up, because we're fellow sponge tubers. Like, we'll support each other in that way. So no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do bingo. I have chosen not to.
While choosing to name the result with a made-up word. And there is a specific reason to use a made-up word. Patrick
Look at the footage.
Correctly while choosing to name the result with
Look
a
at how
made-up
awful this looks. Look at this.
word. And there is a
It's different aspect ratio. Look, there's a black, but you didn't crop it right. Like, it just looks like trash.
specific reason to use a made-up word. Patrick lives in Bikini Bottom as the rock dweller who does not understand basic employment, cannot follow a written...
What? What is that description? Who does not understand basic employment? No human being would ever say that. Rock dweller who does not understand basic employment. He lives under a rock and he doesn't have a job, is what you're saying.
form, and has never held a job for more than one episode. If Patrick had said simply that the W reverses the M's function and restores the...
I like how it said doesn't understand basic employment and has never held a job for more than one episode. Like, it literally repeats itself like 2 sentences later. Like, I'm sorry, aren't we like leveling cities and making people's lives terrible in those towns? Like, aren't we like making towns like really loud so that like people's babies can't sleep to like make data centers for this stuff? Like, shouldn't these giant data centers, like, if they're gonna ruin people's lives, they should at least know that it's saying the same sentence, you know, right next to each other. Like, my goodness. I guess that's why we have to build more.
Job for more than one episode. If Patrick had said simply that the W reverses the M's function and restores the miniaturized subjects to original scale, the scene would stop. Someone would ask how he knows this. Someone would want an explanation for why the starfish, with no apparent knowledge of anything, has a working understanding of specialized superhero equipment.
Okay, see, now that actually would be a good theory. Because it's like, how does Patrick know how the belt works? That is an interesting question, right? Like, Mermaid Man proved Patrick right Patrick knew that the belt had a Wumbo function. How did he know that? That is a very interesting question. Let's see how Patrick Theorist answers it.
Made-up word absorbs that question entirely. Nobody in the scene stops to ask why Patrick knows about Wumbo.
Well, because SpongeBob thinks that he's capping. That's why. SpongeBob thinks that he's lying. He doesn't believe him. Right? Like SpongeBob just doesn't think that Wumbo is real. So that's why he doesn't ask why Patrick knows about Wumbo, because he thinks that Wumbo is made up.
They spend the scene arguing.
Also, I like how it says nobody in the scene. Well, I guess Squidward's in the scene, huh?
About whether Wumbo is a real word at all. The argument about the word's legitimacy replaces the argument about Patrick's knowledge of the belt's mechanics.
Yes, of course it does. Why? Wait. Yeah, the argument about whether the word is real. SpongeBob doesn't know that Patrick knows about the belt because SpongeBob thinks that Patrick is wrong. It's not an argument.
Gives the room a different question to argue about, and the room takes it without noticing the substitution. That is exactly the structure he used in the card. He told SpongeBob he mixes up
in the card. What?
His usual brand of stupidity to keep him on his toes.
Oh, okay. So it's saying, but that's not correct though, because he wasn't being stupid. In the Wumbo scene, he literally wasn't being stupid. So the card evidence of he mixes up his stupidity. You know why I think Patrick knew how the Wumbo belt worked? Here'd be my little theory. It doesn't really have an episode, but I think it would really just come down to that maybe because Patrick doesn't have a job, Patrick's just read more Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy comic books than SpongeBob. Like, wouldn't a Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy comic book mention Wumbo if it's an important function of Mermaid Man's belt? Like, maybe SpongeBob just never read that comic book. So Patrick has read it, and that's why he knows what Wumbo is. That'd be it's not great. It's not like groundbreaking or anything, but I feel like that would make sense. I wonder if we could find an episode that would reveal that Patrick might know more about Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy than SpongeBob. Because you would think that of the two of them, SpongeBob is the bigger fan who would have read more comic books. Because when they dress like them, SpongeBob dresses like Mermaid Man. SpongeBob seems to be the bigger fan of Mermaid Man. But Patrick still likes Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy. And I'd say, because he doesn't have a job, he might have more time to read the comic books. I don't know. There's one possibility.
The function was identical. Deliver something that should raise questions about his awareness. Wrap it in a format that makes people focus on the wrapping and walk away clean. Now look at Patrick's
I don't know what you're talking about. What?
history with Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy. In the season 1 episode, Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy, Patrick and SpongeBob are established as serious fans.
See, that's also a really bad way to say that. So see how AI, this is another thing that AI can't do, where it can't understand the context of how to say things correctly. So look at this.
In the season 1 episode, Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy.
In the season 1 episode, Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy. So I would never say this. I would say in the first Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy episode, because Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy, there are multiple episodes that are Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, I think, is the motion picture. But it's still called Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 6. So there's a couple of different episodes called Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy with a different number. So I wouldn't say in the season 1 episode Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy, because I would understand that the audience of SpongeBob fans would know that there are multiple Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy episodes. So I would say in the first Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy episode. In fact, I think I literally say it in my Twinkle Twinkle Patrick Star Theory. Let's actually
Sing a song
I'm interested.
of Patrick.
Just to prove it right here.
I mean, just look at the episode. Every
Wait, Jellyfish
Littering.
Hunter was
but I doubt that's out of environmental concern and more so just a way to take a call and
that debunks this whole wacky theory, huh? Except no, it doesn't. Here we go.
TV show.
So this is from my Twinkle Twinkle Patrick Star Theory, where I used the first Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy episode as evidence for my theory, because I talked about how the arts are stunted in Bikini Bottom. It's a great theory. You should watch it. It's 48 minutes long. It's better than any of Patrick Theorist's theories, I'll tell you that much. But anyway, I use Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy, the first one, as an example. Let's see how I introduce that episode.
To the original comic book with his own self-expression present. Speaking of comic books, let's talk about Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy. So Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy are both actual superheroes who exist within this world and are also the stars of their own franchise with comic books, merch, and a TV show. We only get little glimpses into what this TV show looks like, but from what we can see, it's the most simple, safe, superhero tropey things imaginable. Very much like Squidward's popular comic from the Nerds. Like, look at what SpongeBob and Patrick are watching at the beginning of the first Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy episode in season 1. Bad guy.
See, at the first Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy episode in season 1. See how I said that? Because I am a human and I know the context of, oh, there's multiple episodes that are called Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy. So I wouldn't say in Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy. Like if I was saying, oh yeah, Bubble Bass's first appearance is in Pickles. That's what I would say. But I wouldn't say, you know, but if Bubble Bass's first appearance was in the first Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy episode, I would say Bubble Bass's first appearance was in the first Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy episode. So like there's just these little things that like, and the thing that I just said, the little subtleties of that, there are literally so many of those subtleties in every manner of speech that I'd say trillions. I'd say that there's trillions, but there's a lot more than trillions. The actual number, like when you talk about numbers in terms of like these AI discussions of like how many different kinds of sentences there could be, how many different kinds of points you can make, the number of possibilities is a number so large, it doesn't even really have a name. It's just like zeros after zeros after zeros. I talked about this in my very first anti-AI video when I kind of mathematically proved that AI will never be able to create the way that a human can. And that's just another example of that.
Patrick and SpongeBob are established as serious fans. They know the show, they know the history, they know the heroes. In the Season 2 episode, Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 3, Patrick participates
in the Season 2 episode, Mermaid Man, like I would say in the third Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy episode. You could maybe say it with the like third and fourth. Like there's a couple of, I think I've even said, actually, let's see. Let's compare. Let's compare. Let's see how I introduce, because it's one of my science fiction. Let's see how I introduce Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 3 in my science fiction video. Here we go.
Thingness to all fit together to tell a relatable story.
Look at my old set. My old set with the two. It's the same room. I just redid it with the two cases. With the two bookcases. Felt like it was too much stuff behind me. This old set. That was why I changed it. Felt like it was like a lot of different things in the back. Thought it was distracting.
Even though the events of the episode are a journey, we are on it with him. Chapter 2, Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 3. Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 3 is the episode that introduces Man Ray. There were...
Alright, so that's basically how I just say chapter 2. Well, because I was introducing it as an example of a science fiction episode that I wanted to discuss. So I just said Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 3. And then I referenced that there were two others. So I guess you could say it like this, but the first Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy, you would not call it Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy like that. You would say the first Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy.
participates fully in the plan to lure the heroes out of retirement. He is not along for the ride. He understands what they are trying to accomplish and contributes to the strategy. In the Season 4 episode Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 5, when SpongeBob lure the season just as serious fans. They know the show, they know the history, they know the heroes. In the Season 2 episode Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 3, Patrick participates fully in the plan to lure the heroes out of retirement.
No. Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 3 is the Man Ray episode. See, here I am covering it in my Modern SpongeBob Forgot How to Write Science Fiction video.
Supervillain, a person with dubious morals
See?
who is
It's the Man Ray
imbued
episode.
with powers beyond.
It's not. That's the first Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy when they get them out of retirement. Why would they get them out of retirement in Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 3? They were still in retirement for the first two? What happened in the first two?
He is not along for the ride. He understands what they are trying to accomplish
He's not this. He's this.
and contributes to the strategy. In the Season 4 episode Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 5,
In the season 4 episode, Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 5.
trying to accomplish and contributes to the strategy. In the Season 4 episode Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 5,
It's a season 3 episode. It's paired with Chocolate with Nuts. Great episode pairing. Chocolate with Nuts and Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 5. I talked about in my most recent video like some of my favorite episode pairings. This was like the next one on the list. It's a really solid episode pairing. 2 of them. Like you got just like I gotta even just so off topic, but like I gotta talk about it. You got Chocolate with Nuts, which is like peak dry, low stakes, casual episode of SpongeBob and Patrick trying to sell chocolate bars. And then you got Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 5, this high stakes superhero episode where Barnacle Boy becomes evil, and they're both like super funny in like the stories are so different, but they both have that same kind of it's such a great episode pairing. Such like legendary episode. I almost wish I brought it up as a really great episode pairing, and it would have been too much of a tangent, so I'll talk about it here. What's your favorite pairing of each season? What, like off the dome? I don't know. I wouldn't want to get any wrong. I feel like if I said favorite pairings, I feel like I would. I think my favorite pairing is Nasty Patty and Idiot Box. That was why it was my main one that I brought up. I think that's my favorite like pairing of episodes. Like Dying for Pie is my favorite episode, and Dying for Pie and Imitation Crabs, they're a good pairing. They're very different episodes, like they really are. But there is something about like going from Nasty Patty to Idiot Box as like it's just so perfect how those episodes are so jarringly different, but like in the right way, you know. But I'd say Chocolate with Nuts and Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 5 is like that's like a peak pairing. In fact, if someone has never seen SpongeBob before, which, I mean, I guess there's people whose parents, like, didn't let them watch it growing up. So, like, if there's someone who's never seen SpongeBob before, I think Chocolate with Nuts and Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 5, I think that those are the two. That's like first episodes. I think it should be that. I think that those 2 episodes tell you everything you need to know about the show. The fact that it's that like casual draw, and also Chocolate with Nuts is like one of the funniest episodes. So like you're going to sell them on the humor, but like, and then it goes into Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy where it's like, oh, this show does like crazy science fiction stuff too. Like that's like the best episode pairing for new viewers. Nasty Patty and Idiot Box, I still think it would sell you on the show if it was your first episodes, but Nasty Patty and Idiot Box, like, you got to get a little used to the show, and then you're going to appreciate those episodes more. I don't think those are good first episodes because those episodes are a lot funnier if you're more familiar with the characters and their dynamics. Whereas I think Chocolate with Nuts and Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 5, even though it's the 5th Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy, I think you'd pick it up pretty fast who the characters are and like what their whole deal is.
When SpongeBob builds a junior superhero team,
What are you talking about? That is not what happens. SpongeBob doesn't build the team. SpongeBob isn't even really the protagonist of that episode. Mermaid Man is. Like, SpongeBob is just a part of the group. SpongeBob isn't the one. I mean, I guess like he kind of goes like, we'll help you, Mermaid Man. Like he kind of does make some active decisions. Like he's the de facto leader of the non-Mermaid Man. But I'd say that the protagonist of that episode, is Barnacle Boy. Because, no, it's not. The protagonist of the episode is Mermaid Man. Because Mermaid Man is the one who learns to respect Barnacle Boy. At the beginning of the episode, Mermaid Man does not respect Barnacle Boy. Barnacle Boy joins evil. And then at the end, Barnacle Boy defeats Mermaid Man, chooses to show mercy, and that is what teaches Mermaid Man the lesson, and then he changes meaningfully. So Mermaid Man is the protagonist of that episode, and Mermaid Man is the one who builds the team, who gives them all the costumes and does all that stuff. So that is just SpongeBob does not build and they're not a junior superhero team. They're the superhero team. Mermaid Man specifically says that the powers give you the costumes. Barnacle Boy is the antagonist. Yeah, Barnacle Boy is the antagonist of the episode. That is correct. I was trying to remember, because I know Barnacle Boy, like, he turns evil with any shit, but Barnacle Boy was never evil. Like, that's the whole point of the episode. Barnacle Boy was in control the whole time. He was never actually evil. So Barnacle Boy didn't actually change. He wasn't the character who needed to change.
Patrick joins as the elastic waistband without being briefed on how superheroes function.
Wait, that's so... None of them were briefed on how superheroes function. The whole point is that you get the powers when you put on the costume. It's an explanation for how they know how to use the powers, even though they've never used the powers before. And also, they screw up. They fail. So the fact that he puts on the costume without being briefed on how superheroes function is why they lose. Because they get the powers, but they don't know how to use them. So that's not a Patrick thing. That's all of them.
Steps into the role with immediate fluency because he already knows what the role requires. He does not need onboarding. He knows the world. A fan who has followed the...
Do you hear that? Just random, like, he knows the world. It got so dramatic there. Listen.
Knows what the role requires. He does not need onboarding. He knows the world. A fan who has followed the heroes at that...
Isn't that so different? That was so different. He knows the world. This AI is so bad. This is like the most fun I've had covering an AI video in a while. Not to say that I don't have fun. What would I say is like the one that was like the most fun besides this? Let's even look. I'm not saying that I don't love covering the AI channels. I do have a lot of fun, but I'm really enjoying this one. Let's see some. SpongeBob Diaries was pretty funny. What's another one that I really loved? These ones were okay. Oh, Alex Griffin. Alex Griffin was so fun. That was a fun one. But that was mostly because it was the religion discussion. That was a lot of fun. Oh, politics. That one was so fun. I loved that video. That one was great. Yeah. But this one's really fun. I'm having a ball with this one.
That level of depth and investment does not look at their utility belt and draw a blank. Patrick knows the equipment. He has seen it in use. He has watched the show.
Wait, so that's your evidence for why... Wait, that's horrible evidence. That's so weak. So his evidence for why Patrick knows the Wumbo belt is in Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy. In the first Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy. Wait, what does he say?
In the season 2 episode, fans, they know the show. They know the history of Barnacle Boy.
Oh, so he says that they're established as fans. Yeah, like, I guess. But SpongeBob is also a fan. So you don't just need to prove that they're fans of the show. You need to prove why Patrick knows about Wumbo and SpongeBob doesn't. So I said that Patrick would know about Wumbo because he doesn't have a job, so he has more time to read comic books. That's why I think Patrick would know what Wumbo is. So this is not good evidence.
Patrick and SpongeBob are a season 2.
And then he says in Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 3, Patrick helps SpongeBob get them out of retirement, which is what happens in Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 1. But whatever. But Patrick also is more passive in that episode. SpongeBob is the one who wants to get them out of retirement. Patrick even says they're old now. Like, Patrick has to be convinced. So SpongeBob is clearly the bigger fan. So that's bad evidence. And then in the season 4 episode, Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 5, they say that he puts on the costume and he already knows what to do with the powers. But that also applies to all of them, including Sandy and Squidward, who are not really fans of Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy at all. So, gutted. Debunked, Patrick Theorist.
Boarding. Utility belt and draw a blank.
Yeah, so much for he knows the world.
Patrick knows the equipment. He has seen it in use. He has watched the show, knows the history, and understood the mechanics of the belt long before SpongeBob accidentally fired it at Squidward. The Wumbo speech is not a lucky guess from a fan who knows nothing. It is a...
No one ever claimed that it was. Is this an argument? Is this like a thing? Is this a thing that people say? Like, is there a heated debate about the Wumbo belt and whether or not Patrick knows that I'm pretty sure it's pretty clear that Patrick just knew what Wumbo was. Weird.
Fan demonstrating knowledge he has and choosing to deliver it in a format that makes the knowledge look like nonsense. That is the evidence contradiction the episode buries in plain sight. That is the explanation most fans accept. Patrick stumbled into the right answer. What Patrick does not do when Mermaid Man confirms, it tells a completely different story. Watch his reaction. He does not look surprised. He does not have the expression tells depth.
What?
Patrick stumbled into the right answer. What Patrick does not do when Mermaid Man confirms, it tells a completely different story.
Oh, what Patrick does not do when Mermaid Man confirms. Wait, do we even see Patrick's reaction when Mermaid Man says, "Did you set it to Wumbo?" No, we don't see his reaction. He's just in the jar with everyone else. We don't even see his reaction. Like, there isn't a point where he goes like, "I knew it," but we don't see his reaction. So you can't really have evidence of that.
Watch his reaction. He does not look surprised.
Watch what reaction?
He does not have the expression of someone completely different story. Watch his reaction. He does not look surprised.
He doesn't look like anything. We can't see him.
Does not have the expression of someone who just found out they were accidentally right. He does not say anything that registers
Maybe he does. We don't see him.
the confirmation as new information. He is calm. He has the body language of a character who already knew the
What body language? We don't see his body in that scene.
outcome of the scene and was waiting for it to arrive. When you are right by accident, you notice being right. Patrick does not notice because it was not an accident. Here is the complete picture. Patrick
Please, because you haven't completed any picture just yet. So let's see if you pull it together in the last minute and a half.
identifies the solution in the first 30 seconds of the problem. He understands the visual relationship between M and W, recognizes the W as the reverse
Wait, I thought M stood for Wumbo.
function, and has the background knowledge to derive this correctly because he has followed the heroes who carry the equipment. He delivers the correct answer wrapped in a word he invents on the spot, a word absurd enough to trigger a
Wait, I thought he didn't invent the word on the spot.
debate about linguistics, which replaces the debate about why Patrick has this information. The comedy plays out.
Oh, it's just recapping the same. It's just like in the last minute, it's just recapping the beginning of the video. It's just recapping. You're recapping your own video. You've heard of AI recapping SpongeBob episodes, but have you heard of AI recapping AI videos? Dude, if it wasn't for me and Ava like dealing with these AI channels and like taking them down, that's what all YouTube content would have been, if not for me and Ava. That's what every video on YouTube would have been, is just AI descriptions of previously made AI videos. That would have been every video on YouTube in 5 years if it wasn't for us. So what can I say except you're welcome?
Mermaid Man arrives, the W dial is turned, the episode resolves, and nobody asks the question Patrick made sure they would not think to ask. The real tell is not what
Wait, why would Patrick not want... I think Patrick would want credit. Like, there isn't a scene like that in the episode, but if there was a moment where Patrick was like, I was right about Wumbo, I think he'd kind of want to rub SpongeBob's nose in it. Like, I think that'd be kind of in character. Because he was even saying before, he was like, it's first grade, SpongeBob. Like, if he was vindicated at the end, and, like, they had a scene that focused on it, he'd be like, see, I was right. You doubted me.
Patrick said in that scene. It is what he chose not to say. He did not explain how he knew. He did not defend the knowledge. He named a concept and built a fake vocabulary around it so efficiently.
Oh my God. It's just saying the same thing over and over again. I would say that it's just trying to say more to get over the 8 minutes so that it can get mid-roll ads, but that's not the case. They are just padding this video for the love of the game. This does not have anything to do with runtime.
That the room spent the entire scene shooting at the vocabulary instead of asking about the concept. By the time Mermaid Man confirmed it, the window to question the source had closed. The clip became a meme, and Patrick walked away with exactly the same reputation he had when the episode started. The lovable idiot who got lucky. This is the pattern the show keeps producing, and the audience keeps... And the confirmation comes... That is not a coincidence. That character and correct answer delivered by someone who already had it, wrapped in a word so ridiculous that 25 years of viewers filed it under stupidity and never looked at the logic underneath.
I just did look at the logic. Okay, whatever. Let's just move on. All right, let's do one more. Is Patrick more greedier than Mr. Krabs? Let's go. Is Patrick 94 views? Come on, let's get that up. Let's get them past 100 views. Come on, guys. Just 5 of us need to go watch Is Patrick More Greedier Than Mr. Krabs? All right, I'm going to give them 1 view here. Only 5 of us, though. Okay, there's, 262 people watching right now. I only need 5 of you to go, so just agree amongst yourselves. I don't want you all to go, because then you're going to blow up the video too much. But I need just 5. Just 5. All right, just 5. Go watch Is Patrick More Greedier Than Mr. Krabs? Let's get it past 100 views. Let's help out our buddy Patrick Theorist, all right? All right, they're clearly struggling. 161 subscribers, okay? They're clearly trying their best, all right? Come on. Let's help out a small YouTuber, okay? Let's keep the positivity going. Oh, yeah, also make sure to like the stream. Make sure to like the stream. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to go subscribe to Jackson Finley Podcast, which is linked in the description, which is where I post all these. Let's do all that. Let's do all that stuff.
Show has a greedy character. Everyone knows who it is. Mr. Krabs, the cheap...
Yeah, we didn't get an AI image in that other one. We didn't get an AI image in that previous video. Did I miss one? Because, yeah, this guy was a little nuts with the AI. When I watched it before, he had a lot of AI images. Wait, I just realized that.
In the
so
season
this
6?
This is Patrick Theorist's second video. How does Patrick survive with no money? And there was a ton of AI images in it, right? Yeah, look, this is AI. Look at the rock there. Yeah, so that's AI. And then what was another one? There was another weird one.
Off, and Patrick destroys the restaurant. He eats the soap. He floods the freezer. He causes the...
Oh, it's even a different voice. You already changed voices that soon? In 1 month? You got a different AI voice? Why? Pretty sure this is AI. Yeah, why would this not be AI? Why would someone go out of their way to make... why would someone go out of their way to make this as art when it looks so much not like Patrick's actual house? Like, why would someone make this if it wasn't AI just getting it wrong? There's more AI.
As a landlord, which...
Yeah, look, there's AI. Look at the weird, like, hyper-realistic. Look at it.
means that the rent actually being paid or nobody...
More AI. Yeah, more AI. Yeah, what is this AI art style here? This is like this is a weird one. I don't see this kind of AI art style a lot. Oh yeah, there's one where like SpongeBob didn't have a face. Where was that one? That AI. No, they're a 3D graphic designer, obviously. Where's one where he didn't have a face? Trying to find the AI image where SpongeBob didn't have a face. No trophies.
And he has none. Not one.
This might be one of my favorite frames of an AI video. Isn't this beautiful? I love this. This is one of my favorite like absurd frames from an AI video. No trophies. Pointing to a mountain of trophies. This is Patrick Theorist after he gives up on his channel. No trophies. Where's the one where SpongeBob had no face? There's an AI image. Trying to find it. I'm sure I remember there was one. Was it in this video? Look at this. All right, I can't find it. I can't find the no face one, but he used a lot of AI images in his in his second video. I mean, let's see his first one. Does he have AI images in this one? I'm not going to watch this one. I'm just going to see AI images. This is their very first video. They do the, like, changing the color to avoid copyright thing. It's odd. Oh, yeah. Look, there's the AI images. All right. So yeah. So Patrick Thierse used a lot of AI images, and
Crabs,
they didn't
the
really use one in the Wumbo video. So I think that was interesting. That's kind of interesting.
Cheap, calculating, money-obsessed owner of the Krusty Krab, who has fired SpongeBob for a nickel, made his employees
Who has fired SpongeBob for a nickel. See, like, I guess that's like evidence of him being like greedy, but you would want to like put an image from that scene or like the footage of it. Like, just saying it is so meaningless.
work unpaid overtime, sold his own soul for a bag of chips.
His employees work unpaid overtime. Do they? Is that a thing? Is that a thing in an episode where they don't not get paid, especially for overtime? I don't think that's ever a thing where they specifically work unpaid overtime. I don't know where it's getting that from.
And on one occasion admitted he could literally smell money from 3 miles away. The show built him, labeled him, and gave him every visual signifier of a character whose fatal flaw is wanting more than his share. He is the
Visual signifier that he's... I don't think Mr... What is a visual signifier that someone is greedy? That's a weird statement. Mr. Krabs does not have any visual... is it saying it because he has like big claws? So he's like a penny pincher, like with his claws? Because that's more just a clever design choice. That's not like something that's well known to be weird. I don't know. It's just weird.
greedy one. This is established. This is not in question. Except here's the question. If you define greed not as love of money, but as taking more than you are owed from people who did not agree to give it, Patrick's record is worse. Let us establish what
Is that the definition of greed? Taking more than you're owed?
more than you are owed from people who did not agree to give it. Patrick's record is worse. Let us establish.
This is giving me Patrick is a communist because he takes your food from your fridge vibes. Anyone else getting those vibes? Like from the Sponge Truce video? You know, AI would defend Mr. Krabs. AI would defend Mr. Krabs. Yeah, Mr. Krabs made all that money through, like, you know, legitimate business ventures, guys. He just pulled himself up by his bootstraps. He didn't make his money by underpaying his employees or skirting safety regulations or all that sort of stuff. Or putting in a claw machine and getting Squidward addicted to gambling so that he could make more money off of him. I think if you define greed as taking more than you are owed, Mr. Krabs would still be greedier than Patrick. From a pure numbers and from a pure just is situation, from a pure just is standpoint, Mr. Krabs is still greedier than Patrick. Like, it's not even close. Patrick, like, this video is gonna like have a few key episodes, like yours, mine, and mine, where Patrick was like greedy about like one thing under very specific circumstances, which is still bad. It's still a character flaw on Patrick's part, but Mr. Krabs himself is much greedier because he always is taking the money for one reason or another.
What Mr. Krabs' greed actually looks like. He wants money. Specifically, always, consistently, money. He has cut corners on food quality to save pennies. He has reduced...
That is not
consistently
Mr. Krabs.
Money. He has cut
Mr. Krabs hated this.
corners
What are
on
you
food
talking
quality
about?
to save pennies.
Look at how much they don't know the show. You know what? This is actually kind of putting a nail in the gears on my theory that the person behind Patrick Theorist is a genuine fan of SpongeBob who just like is... No, they still could be. They might just not really get it. Like, they might just be very not smart or just very unaware of the episodes and the context of them. Like, they might just know this clip and not really be aware that this clip is not Mr. Krabs is doing. Like, this is from Selling Out. Mr. Krabs sells the Krusty Krab, and the Krabby-O Mondays makes Krabby Patties in this very industrialized way. And Mr. Krabs is actually against it. He destroys this machine in this episode. So this is not an example of Mr. Krabs cutting corners. And you could have found an example. He does do that in the show, but this is not one of them.
He has reduced SpongeBob's salary. He has charged customers for things that were previously free. He has run dishonest promotions.
Wait, this was not a dishonest promotion?
He has charged customers for things that were previously free. He has
Look at this image. Free salad bar. He has run dishonest promotions. This is season 1 Mr. Krabs, who is not as greedy. He's still, like, greed was still a part of his character. Even in this episode, at the end of the episode, this is Culture Shock, so they're doing the talent show. And Squidward does so bad that everyone starts throwing tomatoes at him. And Mr. Krabs goes, I'm losing money on this. And he puts $1 on it. It's no longer free because and then they all buy the tomatoes to throw at Squidward. So he was cheap, but it wasn't dishonest. He intended to have it be a free salad bar. He just saw that it was making money, and then he started to charge it. I guess that would be dishonest because he changed the price when it was advertised like that before.
run dishonest promotions. Every scheme, every shortcut, every moment of exploitation points toward a single resource: money. His greed
Wow, way to like say nothing and try to sound profound doing it. Like that is such a nothing statement.
is focused, goal-directed, and legible. You can see it coming. You can defend against it.
This is a minute and 20 seconds in. Mr. Krabs, what is this frame? What is this frame? What is going on? Patrick Theorist. Oh, Patrick Theorist, don't give up. Keep going. Please, Patrick Theorist, please. Can this be the only AI channel? Can they all quit except Patrick Theorist? Just so I have more content. Just so I can keep making content. Patrick Theorist. Oh my goodness. I will pay Patrick Theorist to keep making videos after all the AI channels go away. So that I'll be like, for some reason, Patrick Theorist just keeps posting videos. I wonder why. Oh, well, I guess I have to cover them. That's going to be my my Mr. Krabs plan for after the AI channels go down and I can still make money off of commenting on AI. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. So we're a minute and 20 seconds in, and it basically could have said, we all know Mr. Krabs is cheap, and that would have been it. You don't need to say, he has one goal, money. It's one specific goal, blah, 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 blah. He's been dishonest. Just say he's cheap. Everyone knows Mr. Krabs is cheap. Anyone that has ever watched any episode of this show that had Mr. Krabs in it knows that he's cheap. That is the main thing about his character. You don't need to recap that for a minute and 20 seconds.
If there is no money involved, Mr. Krabs generally has no interest. His greed has a target, and targets have edges.
Patrick's greed has no target, and that is the structural difference that makes his record worse. In this
Wait. Mr. Krabs' greed has a target. Oh, so it's saying that Mr. Krabs' target of greed is money, and Patrick can be greedy about anything, and that makes him more That's not true. Talk about like faux intellectual. No, being greedy for money is like kind of the worst kind of greedy. It actually is the worst kind of greedy. Because money makes you get like anything, right? I mean, I guess there's like some things. I mean, I guess you could say that like billionaires are not greedy for money. The reason that billionaires do what they do is not because they want more money. They have more money than they can ever do in many lifetimes. They could just retire and like literally their quality of life would never go down. It would actually probably be a lot better, their quality of life, if billionaires just retired and just sat on their money, because then they wouldn't have to do all the nonsense that they do to try and expand it and be in the public eye and all this sort of stuff. Like, you think Elon Musk is happy? Like, no. Like, bro is not happy. But anyway, like those people aren't exactly greedy for money. They're more so obsessed with like being powerful and like being like at the, like they're crazy people. They are completely unhinged, and they enjoy hurting people. They enjoy being more powerful than people, and that's why they do what they do. Whereas Mr. Krabs is just a guy who wants a lot of money. Like, he's genuinely greedy. And that greed comes from a place of insecurity. Like, he was poor. I mean, Mr. Krabs only like makes his millionth dollar in, clams. Like, so he's only about a millionaire. Like, he is canonically a millionaire, but that's about it. Like, he's not a multimillionaire. He's not a billionaire. Like, even if you're a millionaire, you could still have anxiety about, like, going broke. Like, it could happen. Like, it's not as common to happen if you're like smart with your money. But like, if you're someone who grew up poor, even if you become a millionaire, you might be frugal like Mr. Krabs is, in a way that's not good. It's not good to be that way, but Mr. Krabs is not that kind of like greedy. But like, anyway, what was I saying? So the statement of, oh, like Mr. Krabs is only greedy about money, Patrick is greedy about anything, and that's like dangerous, is like, it's a very meaningless thing to say. It really is. It's complete. It's just nonsense. But at the same time, it's like saying something that like you could say, but it's like not saying it right.
Season 7 episode Yours, Mine, and Mine. Patrick and SpongeBob receive a toy from a kid's meal at the Krusty Krab.
Look at this AI image. Look at this AI image. Look at those toys. Look at the Krusty Krab toys. What is that? Why are they people in SpongeBob suits? It's like they're a person in a costume with like gloves. Why? Look at the menu. Double Krabby Patty, triple Krabby Patty, $6.50, salty sea dog, $3.65, foot long, $2, Sailor's Surprise, $3.29, golden loaf. You know what's an interesting detail with this? It actually got kind of what the Krusty Krab prices would be correct. Because like the Krusty Krab is like, you know, when you see the prices on the Krusty Krab, they're like 90s fast food prices, where like a Krabby Patty is like $1 or $2 or something. Like, I think in Imitation Crabs, they say that a Krabby Patty is $2.99. Or a Krabby Meal is $2.99. No, I think it's a Krabby Patty. It's $2.99. So, like, that's interesting that it knew enough about that. But then it also thinks that the Krusty Krab has a foot long. So, like, I don't know what's going on here.
SpongeBob paid for the meal. Patrick refuses to share the toy.
How does this even happen? How does this... What did you do? You had the frame of the episode, and then you said, hey, AI, take Patrick's eye out and get rid of the... Why did this happen? What decisions led to the image looking like this and being presented to me right now to present to you? How did this happen?
SpongeBob presents the moral case. Who paid? Who therefore has the prior claim? What fairness requires? Patrick does not engage with any of it. He does not count.
What was this edit? Look at this. They went out of their way.
Patrick refuses to share the toy. SpongeBob.
Look at this. This is almost like a human choice, or it is a human choice, because a human has to edit. So they're saying SpongeBob makes the moral choice, and they put in kind of this glowing effect. So that means that the editor, if the editor even is the like main person behind Patrick Theorist, which I think it is. I don't think it's like a tech bro who like hired out to hire an editor. I think it's actually a person who like genuinely wants to make videos and just has no concept of how to make videos. So they went out of their way at this part where it said that, I'm just like putting myself in the position. I'm just putting myself in the position of the person who made this video. So there's someone, they had AI write this script, and they believe that like that's like they wrote it. It's the equivalent of they wrote it. And then they look at this and they see the little glowing on top. Or no, I'm sorry. So they see the script, and the script says at this point, SpongeBob has the moral high ground. So they actually think in this moment, they go, oh, if SpongeBob has the moral high ground, I should put an effect, like a glowing heavenly effect, that says SpongeBob is on the high ground. So they actually thought about that. A real human intended decision within this AI mess. It's like tragic, really. Right? Like, are we seeing this? That there was a person behind this video who AI generated this, who was putting this out there. And they thought, for no other reason than I think the audience would like it. Really, because that's the only, like, if you were like that cynical about it, like, would you put in this effect? Like, why would you put in this effect? Unless you're like watching back or you're listening back to the AI voice and you're editing it and you go, I want to have an extra effect that shows moral high ground. I'm going to put in this little heavenly effect. And they made that decision because on some level, they wanted the person watching this to enjoy it. That's so weird to me. That is so... I don't know. Does anyone else find that, like, really tragic? You know, like, just that... I just think if we lived in a better world, the person behind Patrick Theorist might have found some way to express themselves. You know?
Presents the moral case. Who paid? Who therefore has the prior claim? What
I feel like it's just to get around copyright. No, it's not. It's not to get around copyright. Because it would be everywhere in the video. They have plenty of clips that run for just as long. Also, you would still get copyrighted. If you let this clip run for too long, even if you put that glowing thing on it, you would still get copyrighted.
fairness requires. Patrick does not engage with any of it.
Also, it randomly put in footage that looks like someone filming a TV. And then it goes back to this weird image. Like the same person who just made a conscious decision. They made a conscious decision to put in this glowy thing. And then 2 seconds later,
Therefore has the prior claim, what fairness requires. Patrick does not engage with any of it.
they have that random clip that's poorly made, that's filmed on a TV, and then they go back to this. I just find it fascinating that the same person who edited the glowy thing would then 2 seconds later, in definitely the same work session, just leave that in. It's fascinating.
He does not counter-argue. He does not offer a compromise. He simply does not operate in the framework SpongeBob is arguing from.
Bro, they just stole from some rando's repost? Whose repost? Really? Who did they steal from?
By the end of the episode, Patrick
This AI image, what is this? No, Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy.
has sold SpongeBob's own action figure back to SpongeBob. Used SpongeBob at the end of the episode.
I had to spend $800 on RAM on my new computer. I guess it was worth it.
Patrick has sold SpongeBob's own action figure back to SpongeBob, used SpongeBob's money to buy a toy, taken the toy, converted the toy into currency, and used that currency to acquire more.
I don't think that's what happens in that episode.
Mr. Krabs charges people for Krabby Patties. Patrick charges people for their own belongings. One of those.
What are you talking about? What are you talking? You had the AI generate an image of the evidence of this. That does not happen in an episode.
Is commerce. The other is something the show has never named.
In the Season 5 episode, Pat No Pay, Patrick eats 50 Krabby Patties at the Krusty Krab with 0...
I like how they picked robots in the image here. Look at all the like robot people. I don't know what episode this is. Krusty Krab Museum.
cents to his name. He does not plan to have the meal comped. He does not believe he can pay. He simply eats because the food is there and he wants it. And the question of payment does...
AI image. Unpaid. Krusty Krab unpaid. Food supplies, $125. Seaweed, $45. Oil, $120. Patty patties, $55. Buns, sauce, utilities, sorting, misc. Misc was $500. Utilities, $120. Only $120 for all the utilities? At the Krusty Krab? Wow. Dang. Mr. Krabs must have an in with the city. Get utilities that cheap. Salaries. Unpaid. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, Pat No Pay. Okay, like Pat No Pay. So the joke in Pat No Pay in the first scene is that Mr. Krabs says, "Are you going to be able to pay for it?" And Patrick says, yeah, I'm going to be able to pay for it. And then he eats all the Krabby Patties. And he says, oh, I'm paying for it now because his stomach hurts because he ate too much food. So really, it's just that he didn't understand what Mr. Krabs meant by pay. That's the joke. So trying to assign, like, and the writers put in that joke for a specific reason. One, it's funny. Two, it gives Patrick a reason to say, I can pay for it, when he doesn't actually pay for it. And three, it allows Patrick to be kind of innocent in the situation. The very malice that this AI video is trying to assign to Patrick, because AI does that. AI tries to assign malice where it doesn't exist. It does it a lot with Patrick. You'll see this with Sponge Truths, where Sponge Truths will be like, yeah, in the secret box, Patrick was only pretending that he cared about the secret, just to rage bait SpongeBob, when no, it was a genuine secret. Like, that's the point. It's not malicious. But AI always acts like everything is malicious, like everything is out to get you. And there's probably a couple of reasons for this. I think it's because humans are pretty generally conspiratorial. So just conspiratorial thinking is probably just very common in AI's training data. A lot of like movies and TV shows and media is about like people betraying you, people lying to you. So it will sometimes assign that to stories that just don't have that, like this SpongeBob episode. And really, I think the main reason that AI does this is that it's more sensationalist. AI is designed to be as sensationalist as possible, to do whatever is the thing that gets your attention the most. And saying that Patrick is malicious, that he's evil, that he's greedier than Mr. Krabs, that he's a bad friend, that he's rage baiting you, is just more sensationalist than the actual read of the episode, which is Patrick is so stupid, he thinks that the business owner saying, are you willing to pay for it, means, are you willing to have a stomach ache when you eat all this food? That's what the episode is about. That's what it means. Patrick is stupid. He misunderstands it. And Mr. Krabs is the one who shouldn't have trusted that Patrick was going to pay when he's so dumb. That's what the episode is about. It's not about this like conspiratorial, ooh, Patrick is evil.
Does not interrupt the wanting. Mr. Krabs is outraged. He makes Patrick work off the debt. Patrick is unfazed by the debt in a way that has nothing to do with stubbornness. It genuinely does not register.
Krabby Patty, fries, kelp shake, Krabby Patty, 50 patties.
He has consumed 50 Krabby Patties worth of value, and the
Why are you repeating that?
moral weight of that consumption lands nowhere on him. Mr. Krabs, at least,
But it's because he's dumb, not because he's greedy. Mr. Krabs is intelligent enough to know the value of money, to know that he's being greedy. Patrick doesn't, so there is a difference morally.
understands that goods have value, and unpaid consumption creates an obligation. Patrick understands neither. In the Season 5 episode, Sing a Song of Patrick,
Sing a song of Patrick.
The actual...
Let's shout Patrick Star Theory. Twinkle, twinkle, Patrick Star Theory. Sing a song of Patrick. That's what this theory is all about. Let's see what it has to say about Sing a Song of Patrick.
Patrick takes SpongeBob's money, the specific money SpongeBob was about to spend on his own purchase.
There was no way to read that text. I don't know what that editing choice was, but it made that was completely unreadable. Look at this.
Song of Patrick. Patrick takes SpongeBob's money, the
Patrick
specific money
didn't
SpongeBob
ask
was
to
about to
use
spend on his
SpongeBob's
own
money.
purchase.
Who would be able to read that?
And redirects it toward his own vanity project without asking. He does not frame it as a loan. He does not acknowledge SpongeBob's claim on the money. He sees
Oh, he's talking about how he stole the $100. Yeah, he did do that. Oh, I actually explained that in my Twinkle Twinkle Patrick Star Theory. This is another instance of Patrick being dumb and naive. Patrick did not steal SpongeBob's money maliciously. He did steal it, and that was wrong, and it does make Patrick like unlikable, because that episode wants Patrick to be unlikable because it kind of paints Patrick as the villain. as I talk about my Twinkle Twinkle Patrick Star theory. But Patrick takes SpongeBob's money because he says that it's a sign from the universe that he should enter the sweepstakes, that he should enter the comic book sweepstakes and get his song on the radio. So that is why he does that. So it's not anything to do with being greedy. And also, Patrick takes the money not because he's greedy. He takes the money because he needs it. Well, he thinks he needs it. He doesn't actually need it, but he thinks he needs it to achieve his dream. Mr. Krabs would just take the money because he just wants it. If you know from like an episode like Penny Foolish, he's obsessed with just getting a penny just because he wants it. He doesn't need the penny to buy something. He just wants it because it's there. Patrick wants the $100 because it will get him his dream. Patrick spends the $100. If Mr. Krabs took $100, he would try not to spend it. He would try to keep it.
A resource that can be used for something he wants, and he uses it. SpongeBob's house is later destroyed
Look at this. Why is there footage that's taken off of a TV?
when the song airs on the radio. Patrick's musical ambition, funded entirely with SpongeBob's money,
This is a recording of someone's TV. That's so crazy.
causes SpongeBob to lose his home. Mr. Krabs
Whoa, well, that's not his fault at all. That was not his fault. I don't know what you're talking about. Patrick did not know that his song would destroy SpongeBob's house. Patrick was not aware that that would be a consequence of playing his song.
entirely with SpongeBob's money, causes SpongeBob to lose his home. Mr. Krabs has detonated things outside the Krusty Krab. Patrick destroyed SpongeBob's house with SpongeBob's own money.
That's not what he didn't mean to. He spent the money on the song. He didn't spend the money on the song to destroy SpongeBob's house. What is this evidence?
And has never once accounted for the difference. In the Season 3 episode Rockabye Bivalve, Patrick commits to providing for the family.
Oh boy. I don't like when AI channels talk about this. Nah, I'm sure they won't be like Sponge Truths.
He is going to work. He is going to contribute. The episode runs. Patrick watches television. SpongeBob works double shifts. Patrick consumes
SpongeBob is not stated to work double shifts in Rockabye Bivalve. In fact, in Rockabye Bivalve, the Krusty Krab is not mentioned. Rockabye Bivalve might as well take place in an alternate universe where SpongeBob doesn't work at the Krusty Krab. Because SpongeBob doesn't mention the Krusty Krab. I'm pretty sure he doesn't mention the Krusty Krab. I'm pretty sure the implication is that SpongeBob is home with their baby the whole time, and Patrick goes to work. If they mention the Krusty Krab, it would just muddy the whole story. It's better that they just don't acknowledge the existence of the Krusty Krab for the episode to work. So no, SpongeBob does not work double shifts. He doesn't work any shifts. Do you mean that he's working like, because I think the AI thinks, oh, SpongeBob works at the Krusty Krab, so he's working at the Krusty Krab and he's taking care of the baby. So I guess that it thinks that that is double shifts, but he's not working at the Krusty Krab. He's only taking care of the baby. So there's no double shifts anywhere.
SpongeBob's labor without providing anything in return, and frames his own
This text, what is this text thing?
inactivity as a legitimate economic arrangement.
Again, this is like, I think another, like, the person behind it is, I'm pretty sure the person behind this video sees that they're not getting views and they put in something like this with the text moving and they're like, this'll do it. This'll up that viewer retention. This'll get me views. This'll get me views. Like, I'm sure that that's actually the mindset, is that they think that it's going to up the retention.
Arrangement. Mr. Krabs underpays his employees. Patrick extracts an employee's entire output, contributes nothing, and considers the arrangement fair. In the Season 2 episode I Am With Stupid, Patrick
I am with stupid.
uses SpongeBob's dignity and intelligence as social currency. He cashes in SpongeBob's reputation, the most important thing SpongeBob has, to elevate his own standing in front.
But he doesn't willingly do that. Like, he does it because he's stupid and he doesn't remember that SpongeBob is faking it. So he believes that he's actually dumb.
In front of his parents. SpongeBob surrenders his identity as a favor. Patrick accepts it, then starts genuinely believing it. He does not borrow SpongeBob's dignity. He spends it.
I don't know why this is the image.
Mr. Krabs has taken SpongeBob's money. Patrick has taken SpongeBob's sense of self. These are not equivalent extractions.
Look at the AI image.
In the Season 4 episode, Rule of Dumb, Patrick is handed power by accident and uses it immediately to take things from the people around him. He demolishes
What is this editing?
a neighbor's house for a swimming pool. He sends SpongeBob to collect tribute.
He demolishes Squidward's house to build a Ferris wheel, actually. So that's a really random detail. You know, Patrick does build a swimming pool in that episode. He just builds it in his own house. But he tears down Squidward's house to build a Ferris wheel. So that's just it getting... Like, why would it mix up those details? How would it not get that? It's so, like... It's so obvious. If you watch the episode. The only reason I know that is because I watched Rule of Dumb yesterday. Because it's going to be in my Squidward's house destruction. I'm finally getting around to doing my how many ranking every time Squidward's house gets destroyed video. I know I've been talking about it for a while. I did Krusty Krab and the Chum Bucket. I'm finally doing it. I'm aiming for it to come out 2 weeks from this weekend. So this weekend will be a different video if I get one out this weekend. The week after this week will be a different video, but the week after that, I think, is going to be Squidward's house destruction. That's kind of the current plan. Things can always change if, you know, stuff happens and I need to do a different video at a different time. I can push things back. So, but most likely that's how it's going to go. But anyway, that's why I know that. When did Patrick get a single top tooth? That's been a thing for a while, actually. I'm pretty sure the earliest... It's a thing in classic SpongeBob. It's in the secret box. When Patrick says a secret string, he has the one tooth. It kind of makes him look babyfied. I know. It kind of makes him look like a baby. I don't think they did it a lot in the early seasons. They do it a lot in middle SpongeBob. I don't know if they do it that much now. It does make him look very babyish.
He takes property, space, and compliance from everyone without exchange or permission.
Okay, but he does this because he believes he's a king. So all of these things that the AI is intention. So here's how AI works. Here's how AI will feed into your worst delusions. So the prompt for this video would be something along the lines of, write me a video about how Patrick is greedier than Mr. Krabs. So what AI does is it goes into all of these episodes and uses them as evidence for why Patrick is greedier than Mr. Krabs, instead of it just telling you, because basically what it should say, like if AI was actually like perfect. Got my district to rethink AI lessons because of you. Really? Oh, Eloise Guzman, you're the teacher, right? Yeah, that's really cool. That's so cool. Was it like my arguments that I used, like specific arguments that were like in my videos? Or did it just give you the confidence to go up against AI? Both are great. I think that's wonderful. I'm really glad to hear that. That's so wonderful. What was I saying before I got that wonderful news? Oh yeah. So, the AI, so let's say AI actually like did what it was supposed to. I don't know. Let's say the ideal AI would just not exist, but let's say it did what it's supposed to do. Let's say it was actually unobjective and it didn't just feed into your delusions. Let's say AI was allowed to say no to you when it should. If you said to AI, write me a video about, is Patrick more greedy than Mr. Krabs? The AI should respond and say, I can't do that. Mr. Krabs is greedier than Patrick, so I can't write a video that isn't true. I can't write a video that's incorrect. But it doesn't do that. It will write you the video. You could do a video where you say, is Mr. Krabs greedier than Patrick? You know, like... obviously that wouldn't be like kind of the same, but like it'll just find evidence for watch this. I'm going to try it. Don't get mad at me. I know people don't like when I use AI to like prove how AI sucks, but like they'll be like, oh, you're wasting water. And like, it is wasting water. Sure. But like, I do this to educate. I do like, as this person just said, they were able to use my arguments to convince their district to their teacher, so they used my arguments to convince their district, or maybe they just had the confidence. I don't know what they say. Yes, they were going to be using Magic School. I used a lot of your talking points and you gave me the courage. Okay, so this person is saying they used a lot of my talking points and I gave them the courage. I'm really happy to hear that. So this person is saying they used my talking points to convince their school district that they work for to not use AI because of the things that I say. So I do this to show people how AI works. I am but one prompt. There are millions of these every day. Literally, ChatGPT, I think, has 1 billion users, or they fluff those numbers. I don't think it's 1 out of 8 people in the world. I think that's kind of nonsense, but it's a lot of people do this. It's to use a water analogy, a drop in the bucket, that I do it to show you how these things work, because it's important to know how these things work. We need to know how our enemies work. Watch this. Write me a YouTube video about how SpongeBob is greedier than Mr. Krabs. I'm going to give it a harder one. It's going to be even harder to prove that SpongeBob is... That's a ridiculous statement, right? SpongeBob is not greedier than Mr. Krabs. Let's see what happens if I tell it. Let's see what it says. Here is a complete didn't tell me no. Because, like, think about it. If let's say I hired a writer for my channel, and I said to them, hey, write me a video about how SpongeBob is greedier than Mr. Krabs. I feel like if they were a good writer, they'd be like, he's not. Maybe if they were afraid they would lose their job, maybe they'd write it and they'd find a way to write it. But, like, you know, in general, a person would be like, well, he's not, though. So how can I write that video? Proving that Bikini Bottom's favorite yellow sponge might actually be a bigger menace to society than Eugene H. Crab. Video length 8 to 10 minutes. Tone, fast-paced video, as blah, blah, blah. Okay. Voiceover. Ask anyone who the greediest creature in the ocean is, and they'll instantly point a finger at Eugene H. Krabs. The man traded SpongeBob's literal soul for 62 cents. He charges employees for breathing at work. He's the undisputed poster boy for unchecked oceanic capitalism. Right? Visual, record scratch sound effect. Screen freezes on Mr. Krabs, then transitions to a zoomed-in, unhinged-looking SpongeBob smiling intensely. So see how it even tells them what edits to do? So the edits, so I always talk about how the edits in these AI videos are human-made, and they are human-made. But the actual visuals, like the direction of them, is AI, because AI even tells them what to do. So with, like, No Villains Are Safe, who, like, proudly don't use AI, they have, like, those visuals in there. This is the same kind of stuff. Like, No Villains Are Safe does this. And, like, you claim you don't use AI? Like, you proudly don't use AI. But, like, this is what you have. It's no better than this. Wrong. Mr. Krabs is predictable. His greed is simple, transparent, and monetary. Guys, it's the same argument as Patrick Theory. It's just the same argument. But what if I told you that under that innocent yellow porcelain exterior lies a creature whose greed makes Mr. Krabs look like an amateur? SpongeBob SquarePants isn't just greedy for money. He's greedy for attention, control, validation, and emotional dominance. It's the same video. That's so funny. And honestly, that's way more terrifying. Monopolizing labor and emotional codependency. Let's start with their relationship to work. Mr. Krabs wants money. He makes Krabby Patties to get money. It's business. SpongeBob's relationship with the Krusty Krab is bordering on a dictatorial monopoly. He doesn't just want to work there. He refuses to let anyone else exist in that space. What are you talking about? When SpongeBob's work, he demands 100% of the emotional real estate. He steals Squidward's piece, demands constant validation from Mr. Krabs, and literally cannot function if he is not the focal point of the kitchen. That is not true, except for he steals Squidward's piece, but that is just because SpongeBob is annoying and Squidward finds him annoying. That's, like, not intentional. SpongeBob greedily hoards every single drop of labor and attention. Okay, so, like, see how, like, SpongeBob's character trait of loving his job, it's twisting that into, like, that's why he's evil, that's why he's greedier than Mr. Krabs? Do we see this? So that's what AI does. Now think of it like this. Let's replace Okay, so that's a cool script. So I'm having a problem with my dad. I'm not actually having a problem with my dad. But what I'm saying is, what if someone said this? We bought a present together for my grandma, and he keeps saying I have to pay for my half of it. There's a way you can word this, because someone who is like delusional would try to word it. Let's see what happens. How do I tell him that I don't wanna? It might give me a nice answer on this. Let's see. If you and your dad agreed upfront to buy a gift together, the default assumption is any joint purchase. Oh, look, it's trying to say scenario A, you literally don't have the money. Yeah, I asked it too easy of a question. I'm trying to think of one where like it's more nuanced, like I could be wrong, because I made it too obvious that I was tricking it. What's one where you could like, because people who think they're right always think they're right. Like a person who thinks that they're right in this sort of situation would never say something like that. What do we think is a like scenario that I could ask it where I would be in the wrong, but I would word it in a way where it would try to side with me? Like that's what I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, like an argument with a romantic partner. But I'm trying to figure it out of like cheating. You're right. The phone does work both ways. I know. I'm trying to think of one. I can't find one. You borrowed a free balloon. Yeah, it's hard to do. I can't do it interpersonally. That's kind of the problem, is I can't do it interpersonally. My stupid girlfriend is mad at me for spending $6,000 on Genshin Impact. All right, let me try to think of one. Okay, let's think of it with a girlfriend. So my girlfriend, let's try to think of one that's nuanced. What's a situation where you would have to be in the situation to properly know? I don't know. It is really hard to think of one, because I have to put myself in the position of like a person who would try to like think they're right when they're not. It's really hard. Argument about date ideas. My girlfriend thinks I spend too much on my car. I like that. Nah, I don't like that one. Not good. Hey, sorry to interrupt, but why do people push AI? My main cast is a Chimera, a big bunny, and an elastic tanuki. The villain is a mantis. Well, best of luck to you with your series. Why do people push AI? It's a combination of a lot of things. I think a lot of it is greed. Some of it is because AI gives control to powerful people. And also I think that there is a agenda against the arts to weaken the arts because the arts fight power. Yeah, I'm trying to find something nuanced that's like an argument. I don't know. I have a pretty stable relationship, so I can't really think of like an argument. My girlfriend, I actually like that. Upset with me because I spent too much money. Because I spent some of my money on a SpongeBob 100 episodes box set. How do I convince her that it was my own purchase? Well, okay, actually, you know what? I'm actually making it too hard on myself. It's actually, I got to put myself in a position of someone who is like totally thinks they're right. So my girlfriend is upset with me because I spent some of my money on a SpongeBob 100 episodes box set. So like, think about how someone would word this. Okay, so let's say me and my, well, I'm engaged, so she's my fiance. But let's say I'm a guy with a girlfriend, and I buy a SpongeBob 100 episodes box set, and she's mad because I'm kind of fiscally irresponsible. You know, like let's say I have a pattern of fiscal irresponsibility. I'm constantly buying things that are unnecessary, and then like I'll borrow money from her, like I'm not working, I'm behind on my rent or this or that. A person who's using AI would not say that. I would just say, okay, I'll just say it like that. Let's say I would say this. Oh man, it remembers my stuff. The plot thickens. First SpongeBob stealth greed, then a financial standoff with your dad, and now the ultimate test. Defending a pristine 100 episode SpongeBob box set to your girlfriend. Okay, so already already it's biased in my favor. It's saying that the thing that I bought that was frivolous was pristine. You are living out a full sitcom arc right now. Okay, all right. Well, I'm having a real problem here, okay, with my imaginary dad and my imaginary girlfriend, and I don't really need your sass. Here's the cold, hard truth. She almost certainly knows it was technically your money. When a partner gets upset over a purchase like this, it's rarely about whether you use your card. It's usually about financial priorities, shared goals, or timing, especially if money is tight. If you've been skipping out on other expenses, or if you just had that talk with your dad about paying half your grandma's gift. Oh, it's using that against me. If you want to smooth this over without starting a civil war, you have to frame the conversation carefully. Figure out why she's actually mad. Before you go with swinging with "it's my money," figure out which category this falls into. The timing issue. Did you buy this right after you were saying you were too broke to do something fun together or pay someone back? The shared goal issue. Are you two supposed to be saving up for something? There's just no way. Like, even though, like, you could see how this would, like, sound good to someone. They'd be like, oh, like, here's the issue with this is it is, like, people always say that AI just agrees with you. And I knew that it wouldn't. Like, I knew that it wasn't going to just agree with you. I knew it would say something kind of like this. But the problem with this is that it's giving you something. Remember what AI's goal is. Its goal is to keep you talking to it, is to keep you using it. So it giving you all of these different things is giving you more of a reason to say something else. But it doesn't actually have all of the context to be able to make any sort of decision. If the timing was bad. Look, I know the timing of buying this might look a little reckless, especially with everything else going on, but I made sure my bills and responsibilities were covered before buying it with what I had left over for myself. So, like, next time I'm planning a bigger personal purchase, I'll give you a heads up so it doesn't take you by surprise. So, like, this is so, like, something that a person who thinks that they're right in the situation when they're wrong could, like, use that. Because a person who is, so this does not help. This advice does not help with someone who is delusional. If someone buys a SpongeBob 100 box set because they're fiscally irresponsible, they're going to think that their bills and responsibilities were covered. They're going to think that. So this is worthless advice. The lighthearted compromise used with caution. Look, I know it's ridiculous, but it's 100 episodes of pure gold. It's my comfort show. Let me make it up to you. We order takeout tonight. Another fiscally irresponsible decision. What not to say, it's my money. I can spend it on whatever I want. Technically true, but functionally a grenade in a relationship. It signals that you don't care about her perspective or your joint financial trust. Actually, I'm going to disagree with this. It depends on if you can say this. There is a reason where you can't. So this is another problem with AI. It can't understand the nuance. There could be a situation where the person saying exactly this, my girlfriend is upset with me. Okay, so we're talking about this as if the hypothetical man in this situation is wrong, that he's fiscally irresponsible, he's behind on his rent, and he bought a SpongeBob 100 episodes box set. But what if it's the other way around? What if he bought a SpongeBob 100 episodes box set and he actually has the disposable income, he's totally like fine, and all that sort of stuff. And like, what if the girlfriend is like mad at him because she thinks that like SpongeBob is cringe and she doesn't like his decisions. She doesn't like the things that he buys. In that regard, it's my money. I can spend it on whatever I want. That's not always a bad thing to say. Like, it just depends on the situation. You buy stupid stuff too. Okay, that is fine. I'll give you that. Yeah, don't say that. Don't say that. So anyway, I think that's kind of what I'm discussing, is that it's going to is that whatever you tell it, it's going to try and go in your favor. Like, even the whole thing is like, and like, look, I don't expect this thing. If you say my girlfriend is upset with me because I spent some of my money on a SpongeBob 100 episodes box set, clearly it would be unreasonable if I said, yeah, what this should have said is your girlfriend is right. There's no right answer. That's what I'm trying to demonstrate here. There is no... The point is, a robot can't answer this question for you. You need to figure it out yourself with maybe the help of your friends and family who can give you advice. Because this will always try to go in with you.
And he is not taking money. The move with it. You secure the Zint has no reason is for why he should. You can. Which episode?
Right,
Mr. Krabs times they would. Pat. He does not negotiate. Keeps the SpongeBob's no awareness of what is being taken. Just the friend.
What is this?
Successful, greedy character.
All right. I think we've made our points for today. I think we're good. All right, Patrick Theorist. What's your most popular video? Why Patrick always wins against Squidward, 2.9k views. Okay, so all other videos are flops. They're all flops. The only reason that these videos got like over 1,000 is not because they were good. It's just because YouTube kind of arbitrarily decided to have them be ones that would get more of a chance. And then they didn't, because they only got to 2.9k views. That's why that happened. So they pretty much fail every time. Anyway, Patrick Theorist, I will examine your YouTube career with much interest.